Hello, hello. I know I'm not that loud. The music is about to be over. Welcome everybody. Welcome to another day of Pixelart. Hi Avarici. Hello Avarice, good to see you. Good to see you, Frankie. It's gonna be a short stream. I'm gonna be doing some Pixelart. It's gonna be free. I still have to do one from yesterday. But more than anything, I need to message that person so that he tells me exactly what he wants. Mm. Uh, so to start with, Frankie, I owe you a song. So you're gonna set up the tone for today's stream. When it comes to music, which song do you want me to play for you? Auntie dears, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Now I know it's a bunch of stuff happening or that happened. But you know what? Today, I'm gonna talk about someone specifically. We're gonna have a small review of a debate that I think is very cool as I do my pixel art. And the reason why when I listen to these again is because I thought it was fucking amazing. Not every time you get to see a retard getting completely demolished by someone that is way better at doing anything he does. There's a debate between Jay Dyer and none other than Brian L. Shapiro. And let's be honest, Brian Shapiro is a dumb fuck. He's a dumb fuck. That's what he is. Dumb fuck. Okay? People ask you, who do you think is dumb fuck? The answer to that question should always be Brian L. Shapiro. Now, I will be doing pixel art, and you're gonna have to trust me. I want to see these. I want you guys to see these. So maybe I'll do a little bit on the screen. I'm gonna change it a little bit. Accept the fact that they're gonna be on this side, and maybe Pixar is gonna be on the other side. It is not that important. Oh, fuck, right. Um, but yeah, true. It's just true. I'm just like, I can talk to you here. That's good. Jukebox Hero. So we're gonna start with that one, and then we're gonna move on with the debate. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and watch Brian Shapiro versus Jay Dyer. I think Brian Shapiro versus Jay Dyer is it became a very interesting debate in a sense, and a very dumb debate in another sense. Jay Dyer is not super used to the dumbassery that Brian Shapiro is. You can see that he has these books. He's read them obviously. He's probably gonna quote them, but we shall see what exactly happens. I'm not entirely sure. I will say, my dog's not happy. Oh. Alright, I'll let it play for a little while. I'll check what my dog is talking about.
We're live. Okay, guys, got another debate for y'all today. We got Brian Shapiro, Jay Dyer, both have been on the show. Thanks for coming, guys, in person. Let's make this thing happen. So we're going to talk about Trump today, Iran, and Alex Jones. I know Brian wanted to talk about Alex Jones, but
Absolutely.
you want to lead this thing off with Alex, Brian?
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for being here, man. Nice to meet you. I've seen.
So to start with, we have Jay Dyer, respectable individual. On the other side, we have fucking Brian Shapiro, the baldness himself. Mr. Baldy. So Mr. Baldy here, is gonna go ahead and try to give us the reasons as to why Jay Dyer is probably a bad person for voting for Trump. I think that's gonna be the debate.
I've seen some of your stuff on social media. I'll be honest with you. What we do is probably a little different, right? As we were
Hey,
talking
Kat.
off the air.
Hey, Frankie.
You
By the
debate.
way,
You've been
good
doing
to
this for
see
like, what,
the people who are
25 years,
here.
right? Long
Good to see you,
time.
Gorilla Biscuits. Good
I've
to
been
see
doing radio
K2.
for
Good to
almost
see
that
Lost
long.
to
But
Average.
my show
Good
is
to see
more of like the last 24
Auntie.
hours, talking about news of the day and that sort of stuff. But all right,
Frankie, I
let's
need your
start.
lunch
I wanted to
money,
start off by asking you
Topanga
about something
took
because I
my
know
money,
you're
it's
friends
true.
with Alex Jones, right?
Let's be honest about that one.
And I know this is probably something where we'll get into it a little bit, but
bullshit. Bullshit.
Guys, he has such a punchable face. Disgusting. Now, before we move on, let's start with who wants some pixel art. So we're gonna start with that. Who wants some pixel art? We're gonna do a wheel of names, and we're gonna do that once again. So, in order to enter the wheel of names, all you have to type is 1 in chat. We've been doing this for a while. You know it's completely free. Just giving away some pixel art. Now I've been sick. 2 nights ago I felt really bad. Yesterday, felt a little bit bad. I feel better now. Hopefully, it was just a little bit of fever. Now it's past. Things great. That was weird. But it happens, okay? It just happens. It's fine. Shut up, Frankie. I'm still waiting for those ones in chat. It's completely free. Really? No one's in chat? No one wants some pixel art? Guess the you in me is gonna take it away. Whoa, Frankie is the one winning right now. We need somebody else to be able to win something. My dog's not having a good time. Now I know that people want me to go on panels and do other kind of shit like that. Fine. I'm not giving you what you want. So the people doing that. It doesn't mean I won't do it at one point. It's not today. I have to work tomorrow. I was hired to do small work. It's gonna be demanding. I'm not gonna be happy. It's gonna be fine at the same time. Okay, Cat. Cat wants the one. So, last call. If anybody wants free pixel art, type 1 in chat. As I said, it's free. Did you miss drama? Not yet. I do have some small updates. Um, Updates are mostly out of a couple people. So the first update I will say is, um, well, Flow State is back. He was back yesterday. Um, he started talking about me being in the panel where all of the thing with Rob and Sarah and everything happened. This is not news. Everybody knows I was there. I've talked about this before. But they're gonna try to make it like a big deal. I don't think it is. If I went there, it was just to make it. Yes, Sarah is suing Andrew. They were talking about me talking about it and talking about uh my take on it. I guess they were trying to kind of spin it a little bit. Let's get into it with Flo. I went to his channel. Mm, my my take on it is that Cat won. What do you want, Cat of Pixelart? You just won. So my whole take on it is Ted's gonna lose. The case is gonna get dismissed. I don't think there's a case there. Um, they disagree, but the summary of it makes no sense. So my big problem is the summary. Let me bring up the summary so that people know what I'm talking about. So, in the summary, it says Andrew Wilson, host of the Crucible podcast, and other defendants were here with a defamation lawsuit on February the 8th in the Maryland Circuit Court for Harford County. The action was brought by Flood Law on behalf of Sarah Wakeman. By the way, I thought her last name was Whiteman. So I was like, oh well, she's gonna wait. And a live debate more using the persona Raging Tomato, who alleges that Wilson made numerous false accusations against her during December 2025 live stream. Including claims that she had been engaging in prostitution and posting photos of herself nude online. Uh, this claim specifically is kind of weird because we know that the photo she was wearing something at the very least. So herself and online, recently her losing approximately 5,000 subscribers and a 4,000 monthly contract with Enlightenment Network. Now, the Enlightenment Network contract is not from the December 2025; it's way early, about November. So that is some bad luck. The complaint seeks about 150,000 compensatory and punitive damages for alleged defamation, invasion of privacy, and emotional distress. The case is CV12. Blah, blah, blah. So, this, if she's claiming that December 2025 is what caused the problem, that cannot be. Because the big stream by Wilson that caused the thing was an earlier stream. And I have a big problem with that specifically. Also, the online prostitution is tied up to the loots, which I think is exactly what was said, that she was selling loot. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's my problem with the whole bullshit. You want a flower like a daisy? Okay, I'll do a daisy. I need to see a daisy though. I know flower. Well, I've seen flowers, but I don't know them. I don't know the um what is this? Why is he going to Google Shopping? The fuck is these bullshit? Eh. Is it the white flower that you say he loves me? He loves me. He don't. He loves me. He don't. Is that one? A carnivorous daisy. That's interesting. When food eats you. A daisy with a happy face. I'll try. Um. Yeah. If they're claiming that the December 2025 is what caused all of the problems, that's not true. It's an earlier stream. They're trying to say that December 2025. I think they're gonna say that that's numerous streams, not only the December 2025, but I think they're focusing on the December 2025 because she has been saying that um the posting photos nude is the problem. Which, by the way, we know that it wasn't. That's not the problem. Because it was. And I said it to her like 4 or 5 times already. Like, yeah, we know you were in nude. Yeah, we know it. At the very least, you were wearing the Crucible jacket. And you have artistic freedom on the photo? Okay.
Well, you know, I
I'm
come
gonna
from
go ahead and
Connecticut.
torture
I was
you
raised
all
in Connecticut,
with
and
a little
obviously
bit
where the
of
Sandy Hook shooting was.
Brian. And the reason why is because I want to see Brian being complete and absolute more that he is. Because he is. Complete and absolute more. We're gonna go for 96 by 96, I think so. Oh, oops. Working on this space. Alright. Do you want it to be carnivores? Carnivorous? Or or do you want it to be like just a happy face with the normal one?
And I say to myself, and I've interviewed his ex-wife. That's kind of
Mhm.
irrelevant to this conversation, and I've had private conversations with her. But I've also interviewed some of the parents who have lost their children, 8 and 9 year olds that were decapitated.
Mhm.
And Alex Jones made their pain worse. And I thought what he did was reprehensible. And then he used the excuse of psychosis, which I think is utter bullshit. He knew that that shooting happened. He's not a stupid guy. And he only lied about it on the air with his huge platform and said that they were actors. You know what he said. And he only did that for clicks and money. And you're making the pain of parents, like I said, some of who I had to talk to and interview, and my heart goes out to them, and I'm sure yours does as well. And he called them actors, and he made their pain worse. And I find only a reprehensible, despicable human being would do what Alex Jones does. Now, he is a conspiracy theorist, and I understand he says a lot of batshit crazy stuff, but if you don't hurt somebody by
No, the
doing that,
Mario
then I don't
are
have a
not
problem
daisies.
with it. You could think 9/11 was an inside job, and you could, fine. If you're not hurting anybody, but he hurt those people who are already grieving the loss of their.
Mm, no, they're not daisies. Just a normal happy one. Okay. Since it's gonna have a face, I'm gonna have to make this bigger so it actually can focus, can have like a face. Even if it's like a very easy face, it still needs a little bit of canvasy space to it. Now you're gonna say that I'm boring, but I'm gonna go with the very normal white ones because I like him. That's the only reason. No, there's only one flower in, but I'm pretty sure there's one flower. Oh wait, you're talking about the fire flower? I don't think it's a daisy. I'm not sure. It's been a while, yeah. So he's talking about Sandy Hook. It's an easy attack, I think, on on them because the way that they're doing it is very I don't. I was gonna say I don't like it, but the way that they're doing this kind of attack is, or what he thinks the strategy is for him is he's gonna go ahead and put him in the same place as, um, what's his name, Alex Jones, and since they've worked together and they're friends, he's gonna attack him because he is associated with that with Alex Jones. There's a fallacy. He's gonna be called upon, and no, and I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see a lot of false equivalences out of the side of Brian. Who, by the way, he always will go to moralistic stances, even though he has no morals.
Their children. And I'm wondering how you could be friends with somebody who does that. I don't. It's unbelievable to me that he would even do something like that and then blame it on psychosis. Like, how could you square up and be friends with somebody like that? Because I don't know you. I've never hung out with you. I'm just asking, like, how can you be friends with somebody who did that? And are you willing to call that out?
Well, I think Alex himself has called that out. Alex has admitted that he made a huge mistake. I remember at the time when the trials were happening, one thing that I noticed in a lot of the examinations and the prosecution questioning was there seemed to be quite a bit of laxity when it came to vetting the guests, and that was hammered home with multiple people that produced the show. And the way that I'm sure you know, the way that media works, especially for high-profile people, is that a lot of that is farmed out to people that work for you to vet the guests and whatnot. So I think there was some significant failures, mainly with vetting people like Wolfgang Halbig, people that ended up being, I think, probably con men. And Alex was lax in that. I think that was a huge mistake. I think that there is precedent not for what happened at Sandy Hook, but for the idea of government being involved in types of things like that, like the Operation Gladio, for example. That's a publicly declassified document that discusses.
I get that, but the government, as you know, wasn't involved in.
I'm just
the
saying,
Sandy Hook
I said there's precedent for that.
I understand,
which is why Alex would have had in his mind legitimacy to question certain topics. So,
but why would you question that, though? Why would you question a school shooting hours after innocent children are killed?
Because if Operation Gladio.
Well, the reason why is because, as he's probably going to be saying, is because he believes that there is government intervention and it's caused by the government itself. Now, the fact that it wasn't, or if it was or it wasn't, it's irrelevant to the point of why he is questioning the narrative. The point that he's making is what he's making as a point is that there is this that the government has done these kind of attacks before, and they probably will do it again. So he's gonna go ahead and go after it in a sense. That's the idea that I'm getting from it, at least. I'm gonna do another layer, and I'm gonna do 2 layers. Mm, no, I'm gonna do it with 1 pixel. Okay. And then go here. And I have a place to put him. It's a full game, School Monkeys. School Monkeys would probably cool.
It includes public shootings at places like malls or perhaps even schools. There's no reason why you couldn't question.
But wouldn't you question it if there was some sort of evidence to prove, like the 2020 election? I mean, Trump still says it. I'm sure we can get into that, but it's like when, listen, if people have ideas or opinions, they're entitled to that. That's fine. But like I said, I'm not someone who's trying to censor free speech. But at the same time, when you say things that can hurt people, I know you're not a fan of Candace Owens. Neither am I. Okay, we both would agree on that. I'm friends with Tim Pool. He said some things about her that I actually agree with. But to me, Alex Jones does what Candace Owens does, which is say things that are not true. Are not true. Alex Jones knew that innocent children were murdered. He knew that those weren't actors. They're dead. And yet he went on the air and called them actors. Those family members, as you know, were threatened. They had threats to their life. He knew that those children were dead. He knew that those families were grieving. I have an issue not necessarily with conspiracy theorists, but conspiracy theorists like Candace Owens and like Alex Jones that say things knowing they're not true and knowing that they will hurt people. Alex Jones' comments at times, not just the Sandy Hook shooting, hurt people. And I find that only a despicable human being would profit off of something like that. I'm glad that he has to pay out that money. Like I said, I've had private conversations.
Now, this moral outrage means absolutely nothing because he is absolutely despicable in and of himself. This is why I don't let them tell me what the fucking is good or bad. And sometimes I'm a little bit over the top. Like I will say things that I know are incendiary. Like well, some of them I do believe, right? But I know some of them they're gonna get pissed off at the same time. When I say ISIS ISIS based fuck, and I just say it alright, and they can go eat rocks and you can go fuck, you know, you can fuck yourself. I don't care. I don't care if you feel morally wronged by me because I say ISIS based as fuck. I don't give a shit. Don't care. Okay? If you have a problem with me saying ISIS based fuck, you can just go on and have a life away from the internet. I don't care. And the reason part of the reason why I'm like that is because I understand rhetoric. I come from part of the people who I watched when I was growing up is Medicare and Destiny. They did stuff like that, not only to gain clicks, but to actually have narrative and normativity in the way that they look at the world. So it's the same for me. If I just gave my enemies every single moral issue, I have no morals at the end of the day, right? They can be morally outraged about anything. So, yeah, they can die. School Monkeys. I'll probably check it out too.
Conversations with his ex-wife. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not true. That's why I'm not going to share the conversations I had with her. But what I do know is I could never associate myself with somebody like that. Who, it's good to have differences of opinions. We probably have a lot of different opinions on a lot. I think that's great. That's what makes America great. But I think Alex Jones is a scumbag. And by the way, I met Alex Jones. He is a different person off the camera. He doesn't have, in my opinion, that persona or, hey, was that good? Was this good? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's a good person. And I'm not saying guilty by association. I'm not trying to make that argument. But I just can't fathom or understand how anybody could hang out with a guy like that who literally made
that would be guilt by association.
Well, I'm just trying to understand how anybody, not just you, but anybody would be okay associated. And you host on that network.
Right.
Like, I just don't understand.
Well, again, so that'd be like saying anybody involved in media who's involved with anybody that's made a mistake in media.
I don't think that's a mistake. You know what I think a mistake is, Jay?
Well, but how do you prove that it's not
a mistake? Is locking your keys in your car.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that after this shooting happened, where body bags were taken out of that school, that Alex Jones legitimately believed that those 8 and 9-year-olds were actors? That's bullshit. I don't believe that.
No, I think that Alex legitimately believed that there was a variety of options that you could have.
He called them actors, Jay.
No, I understand that, but that's after having people on who were not properly vetted, like Wolfgang Halbig.
He has a lot of people on InfoWars that have zero credibility.
I actually agree that everybody who does media, for the most part, I'm not talking about you, Sean, you. No, I'm just saying. Everybody in media has people on because it's media, right? Media is kind of like, it's about the numbers.
But it's our responsibility to push back at those people.
I agree that, and I think that my main criticism of Alex would have been, and still has been, there should have been a better vetting of the sources of these so-called events, because the main source at that time, because I was listening through the whole period, was Wolfgang Halbig, who said, I've worked in government, I worked in education, I was there, I know that this was a fraud, I went and investigated, and all that was not true. So he did not properly vet the source.
He blamed it on psychosis. There is no medical information to prove that.
Okay, that could be, you mean his?
Yeah,
that could have been.
He didn't provide any medical information that he had psychosis.
I mean, I don't know.
Bullshit.
I don't know Alex's legal teams,
well, he's lying
that they
gave psychosis. You know that. Come on.
Again, I don't know what the legal team advised him.
They didn't.
Well, you have to understand that this has to do with the actual case, and in the case, it was different than outside of a case. This is gonna be good. Wait, let's move these a little bit. Let's play here. I don't know what he was doing up there. fine.
show.
Investigation.
Well, the legal team, if they're going to say he suffered from psychosis, there would have to be some evidence to prove that, which clearly they didn't show. It wasn't psychosis. And I guess this is maybe where we disagree. People like Alex Jones and Candace Owens and many others, Laura Loomer, I could name you a lot. They say things knowing that it will hurt people, and they don't fucking care. They say things knowing that it'll hurt people, knowing that it's probably not true. By the way, I don't buy the fact that Alex didn't think it was a real shooting. He knew it was. Like I said, Alex is not a stupid guy. He knew that there were innocent young children that died, and he called them actors. Now, regardless of what all their stuff might have been going on in his mind, he made a lot of money off that. Now, in the end, it's going to cost him money. I don't think we should be allowed to say things like that with no justification, and it hurts people. Those families had death threats. They had death threats, Jay, and they hadn't even buried their kids yet. 8 and 9-year-olds. Yeah. And as you can see, I get visibly angry talking about this guy because I think he's a horrible human being. And I think his entire network is a fucking joke. It's a bunch of tinfoil hat morons who spread conspiracy theories about COVID. They spread conspiracy theories about the deep state. They spread conspiracy theories about the 2020 election. And the guy who runs the whole thing spread conspiracy theories about a shooting where a bunch of 8 and 9-year-old kids were murdered, were kept. I don't even think the guy should be allowed to even have a show. That's my personal opinion.
Could you name another crazy tinfoil hat position that you think me or Alex or anybody has posited?
I can't speak to you because I'll be honest with you, and I don't mean this.
Well,
as
you said
like
the whole network is all crazy people.
Well, I mean the regulars. I would assume you're a guest on there a lot, and sometimes you. I'm talking about the regulars who do shows, 5 days a week. They spread conspiracy theories about me. Harrison talked about me.
Well, he doesn't know, right? He doesn't really know. But I think part of the shows are, at least in part, written by Jay. At least now. I'm not entirely sure. So don't quote me on that. But I do know that a little bit of that is.
Me. Didn't even, and we talked about this off the air a couple minutes ago. Didn't even know my position on vaccines. And I don't want to get too deep into the vaccine stuff because, some platforms don't allow it. Didn't even know my position on the vaccines and just assumed that I want everyone to get 10 boosters. They say things about people not doing their homework, not under even, and by the way, I said I would go on their show. I was talking to somebody from their network. I said, listen, I will go on that show and I will defend my positions. Harrison didn't want me on. I call that a coward. If you're willing to talk shit about somebody, which is fine, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But then you don't want that person to come on. I invite anybody on my show. Nick Fuentes can do my show if he wants to. I think he's an awful human being. But I would have had O.J. Simpson do my show. It's not the criticism. He's no longer with us, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it. But I'm willing to have anybody on my show that I disagree with, even if they're despicable people. If Alex Jones wanted to do my show, I would probably be a little bit more heated with him than I am you, because I'm not blaming you for the stuff that Alex Jones said.
But what's another topic that you think Alex has spread?
COVID. I think he spread lies about the vaccines. He sells his stupid pills on his website to make money. That there's no evidence that any of those pills actually help you if you had COVID. I would talk about 9/11 a little bit more because I know he's talked about 9/11 a lot.
What about 9/11?
Well, he thinks it was an inside job.
Right.
Right.
I do too.
Okay. Well,
So
we can get into that. We can get into that.
So what's the crazy part though? Where's the crazy
He
part?
talks about the deep state all the time with no evidence to back up his claims about the deep state. What is the deep state? Tell me.
It's the breakaway national security apparatus in the background that has a tremendous amount of influence installed at the time of World War II, particularly from people
right now,
in the Council on Foreign Relations. It's the same structure.
Okay, so right now, who is running the deep state?
CFR and Trilateral Commission have a huge amount of influence. This is a CFR historian's own background accounts. Burton Hirsch's, but this is what we're lecturing through on my channel right now. So, so that would
so
be
I've
like
heard
Grand
Alex,
Corporation, military industrial complex. That's the deep state.
So I've heard Alex say that Barack Obama was really running the country when Joe Biden was president. There's no evidence to back that up.
Well, you meant the stay behind situation that Obama had set up in
But
DC.
he said the Obamas had gay relationships and that Barack Obama was gay. This is not a serious
Well, but
guy.
you do talk radio. You make jokes. You do satire. Alex does satire all the time.
Okay. Well, when I hear Alex Jones say that he believed, first of all, I don't think that's funny. That's 10-year-old humor. I don't think there's anything funny in saying a president is gay. I don't think that, unless we're 10 years old.
Well, what about faking gay?
You think? Okay, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Well, you just laughed.
What about faking gay? What about it? The subject is why I don't go to Confluence. Definition of a deep state. You think he's deep state? I don't think he's deep state. I think he's just weird. But I enjoy going to Confluence. The reasons why I enjoy going to Confluence and the reasons why I don't think he is like a plant. Maybe I'm wrong, Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's a plant. I think he's just um he he's just a Gnostic. He lost the war to the druggies and but he'll get there, okay? He'll get there. Hopefully. Should. Should get there. I don't know why, but I would like to see this plant be like a boss in a game. It just looks like a boss in a game. Don't you think it looks like a boss in the game? I think it looks like a boss in the game. But you know what? I might be wrong. No, it was the subject that was going up and he kept me in the back and let the left. Oh, yeah. You.
So you do think it's funny?
Well, here's the problem, right?
I'm just
Alex Jones has a huge platform. And I think it's important for people to choose their words wisely and to be responsible.
Mhm.
We agree, I think,
Mhm.
that Alex Jones should not have done what he did when it came to the Sandy Hook
Mhm.
shooting. It hurt people.
Mhm.
Now, if you make a joke that doesn't hurt somebody,
Mhm.
okay, fine. If you have a conspiracy theory that doesn't necessarily hurt somebody, then that's one thing, right? But when you have the platform that Alex Jones has and you say things that are unproven stuff that is just blatantly ridiculous, they
Mhm.
said things about me that aren't true.
Mm.
I have a problem with that. And I don't think that network is a serious network. I don't think that is a serious news network. It's one thing if you give Kanye West a platform. Heck, I would interview Kanye West and ask him about his anti-Semitism. But Alex Jones, he was praising Adolf Hitler, and Alex Jones is sitting there with his thumb up his ass.
No,
I watched that whole
he
interview.
specifically disagreed with him and said that he didn't believe Hitler was a good guy. And the very next day, Richard Grove and I hosted that next day and talked about that we did not agree with the Hitlerian perspective.
Okay, it's one thing to say you don't agree with it, and I'm glad you did that. But if someone sitting next to me is praising Adolf Hitler, I would call them for what they are. You are an anti-Semite and you are a moron. If you praise a man who's responsible for murdering anybody, let alone millions of people, there's something wrong with you. And I would say that to Kanye. I wouldn't sit here and say, well, Kanye, I really disagree with you on that. I saw that. I don't respect people who praise evil, murderous dictators. That's what Alex Jones did in that interview. Okay, he coddled Kanye.
Alex didn't praise Hitler.
Well, he praised Kanye West in some ways, and he was very
satire.
He coddled him. He coddled him. It was a fluffer interview, and I think we also have a responsibility to question people.
No, I was going up and he kept me in the back. Meetings. 3 times that happened to me. It happened. I don't know what to tell you. Confluence is weird. And to be fair, he's having like a ton of success right now. In the sense that there's a lot of people going to his show, there's a lot of people watching his show, there's a lot of people that were like very regular with me that are over there. And I'm not being, sour grapes about it. What I'm saying is he's doing what is good for what he believes to be good for his brand, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy that he has that the people are enjoying his show and everything. I'm just trying to move into a different direction in a sense. I like art. I want to do things that are art related. Um, it's gonna hurt me it's gonna hurt me in a sense, but it's gonna be fine. So car sucks at debating. So car sucks. Sir gay is just fucking gay, dude. So gay. Now, I don't wanna. I like Confluence. I'm not gonna attack him for the basic stuff. We are closer than people think in a sense, and we're farther away than people think in a sense. We do both. Um, but yeah, I just I'm gonna do what I'm doing, and maybe I'm not gonna grow as much, and maybe things are not gonna be great. I'm gonna keep having debates. I'm gonna keep on crashing out on fucking leftists. Fucking hate those guys. They make life hard for everybody. Um, I'm still debating. I'm not gonna move away from debating. But I want debates that are cool. I I want to debate. I want to have my libertarian debate. One day I'll have it. One day, a libertarian's gonna have the fucking balls to debate me. Okay, on whether or not libertarianism is actually a possible political system, which I think it isn't. Um, one day I'm gonna have Brian Shapiro. One day, one day I'll do things that might be greater. But for now, I'm okay with doing some pixel art. I'm really okay with that. I don't have a problem with it. I'm okay with doing basic little things, you know? And it might be the case that at some point do other stuff. And if that happens, it's gonna be fine. But I do want my fucking libertarian. I do want a libertarian. Maybe I should debate you on libertarianism. Maybe we should. We could have I could get a mod. I could get a moderator. We can even do it on your channel, babe. I just want a fucking libertarian, dude. They're so gay. I've had like 3 people say, "Yo, we'll debate you," and they never do. Never show up. Never fucking do. So gay. And the cool thing about debating a libertarian is that I'm actually going to destroy leftism at the same time. Like, listen to libertarians. Listen to them. Fucking annoying. I love you. But yeah, I'm just I could have gone the easy route for a long time ago and just do the fucking panels and just find a way. Uh so I know you can't devil advocate it. I'm not saying we can't debate it. I don't even know, dude. It's annoying 'cause I really wanted. I want a lunatic. I want a lunatic libertarian like fucking Fabian Liberty. Fucking idiot. That guy's such a moron. But but yeah, like I would 100% debate this with anybody. I hate libertarians. They are they are the they are mostly the reason why we are um in the shit that we are in. And if you listen to them and you listen to left, they're pretty much the same. I'm not saying that they're the same 100%. There is difference, right? Like extreme. I get it, respects everything, and without it, the wind changes, so those people can change without notice. I I really think that what he did to you, Mister, is really sucky, and it's he's gonna come on. He's gonna be like, "You're just talking about me." But I was right when I made my criticism, especially when it comes to the ideas. I saw it happen, and it was true. And the other criticism is like, the Thorps have a special privilege. They did. You couldn't kick them or mute them, and it's fine. Like I get it. I do stuff like that sometimes. Well, I don't because I don't have a panel because I don't do panels 99% of the time. I can get people up if I want to, and then some people come along and we can have like a back and forth, and then some people like to come over and we have like 4 or 5 people, and I have only 6 spots, and I don't want to have more, and people get mad at me because of that and shit like that. It's fine, but at the end of the
and to
day,
be
is
tough on
whatever I
people
want.
that praise murderous
This is my channel.
dictators.
Do
Alex
whatever I
Jones
want.
did not do that. So on one side of the coin, Kanye West
I'm reviewing Brian Shapiro versus Jay Dyer. Why is there a picture of a giant teapot in West Virginia in your thumbnail? Oh, maybe you don't know this, but I live in Teapot. It's hard to explain, but it is what it is. It's old lore. It's just old lore.
will sit there and praise Adolf Hitler.
I want to say, by the way, happy birthday to Kat. And I'm glad you won, by the way, because I could do a little bit of art for you on my channel. But yeah, it's Kat's birthday. If people want to congratulate her for her birthday, now is the good time. It's her. Yeah, like that. He gets the tea from the teapot. I do get the tea from the teapot.
And he'll say, well, I disagree with that. But on the other side of the coin, he'll just bash Democrats and left wingers and AOC and attack her for being a bartender. He's more tough on somebody like AOC than somebody.
Well, it was my birthday 14. It is still your birthday here for a couple of hours, okay? Stop it.
Like Kanye West, who praises Adolf Hitler and is a Jew hater. Make no mistake about it. Kanye.
Now Kat's gonna be like, Emmett didn't say happy birthday before. He was late by telling me happy birthday. This is gonna be the next thing that's gonna happen. It's gonna trigger the fuck out of me in chat. I know it. We know it. You all know it.
Kanye is a Jew hater, anti-Semitic piece of scum. I don't care whether he's mentally ill or not. And these gripers that go around, I just think they're really bad people.
Right. But so a lot of this debate so far has been about the character of people. So, and I'm not,
well, you're friends
I'm not
with him.
believing that. Okay. But I mean, you just said at the beginning that you weren't interested in guilt by association, but
Maybe
this seems to be your whole course.
I'm trying to understand why you would be friends with some of the.
So it is guilt by association. That's the whole point. The whole point is guilt by association. And what he's trying to do is character assassinate before they have a chance to actually have a debate. Because the point of these debate, quote unquote, because it's not a debate, it's yeah. Oh wow, now the teapot makes sense. I always get some tea. I did say that I had a couple of things to talk about when it comes to tea. Oh yeah, I was with um. Well, no, that was it, right? The whole thing is I went to Flow State the other day. Oh, he. I'm gonna have my own probably my own trial soon. I was accused of something weird in I was accused by something weird. Funniest part. This was the actually funniest part. The funniest part that I had with them when I was talking to them, because I went to Dusty for a little while because they were like talking about me. So I went on and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to clarify something? You want me to talk about something? Like what's going on? You're gonna talk about me? Maybe you can talk to me, right?" And one of the things they said was that I didn't that I was part of like the of Panelstein, and I just showed them my studio. I was like, let me show this. So I showed them the studio, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not. I mean, my studio is in Cruiserail, but I do go to Panelstein sometimes. And they're like, well, show us Panelstein. And I was like, here it is Panelstein. And I thought it was funny as fuck. I thought it was just really, really funny.
God, who I think has no moral compass.
But what I'm illustrating is
I prefer a
that
teapot
nobody
to
consistently
Pol
can apply
Pot.
that in media
Well,
because
Pol
I'm
Pot
sure you have
was
friends that you disagree with, you might
maniac.
find reprehensible, or that you've gone on shows that you
No,
disagree.
I don't have any.
So you don't have any.
I don't have any friends
no
that
moral
are.
qualms with Piers Morgan. You go on Piers Morgan's show.
Yeah,
Has
well,
he done anything?
I don't hang out with Pierce Morgan. He's not one of my friends. I do his show. There's a difference.
So
I don't have any
now
friends.
I don't have guilt by. So it is guilt by association.
Well, you're friends with him.
So
I'm not friends with.
So
Pierce.
that is guilt by association, which you said you're not trying to do.
I'm trying to understand why you would be friends with somebody like that. So you are doing guilt by association. I'm asking you a question. Why?
Implying that it's morally wrong.
I'm trying to understand how morally you could associate yourself.
And I'm trying to understand the ethics
as a friend, not just for doing a show.
The morals are what? Like what's the?
I
don't think it's consistently applied.
I think people that associate themselves with people like Alice Jones are the same people that associate themselves with Donald Trump. I think it's
so guilt by association.
I think it's same. Well, I think
this whole course has been guilt by association,
well,
which you said at the beginning you're not going to do.
Well, what I was hoping to do is try to get an explanation from you on how you could be friends with somebody like that. I find that in general, and I'm going to make a general statement now, people that are big fans of Alex Jones or friends of Alex Jones tend to also be big fans of Donald Trump. And they're willing to push aside the Epstein stuff. They're willing to push aside his behaviors, the way he talks about women and Gold Star families and POWs, and the fact that he's named thousands of times in the Epstein files. I think the same kinds of people who support Donald Trump are gravitated towards Alex Jones. Yes, I'll say it again. I think Donald Trump and Alex Jones are similar. I think they're horrible human beings. Yeah, they're horrible human beings who probably only care about themselves. They were trying to trap me, and I found it.
But again, I think this is what usually ends up being something not worth debating. I'm not saying you can't bring it up, whatever you want, but the idea of only focusing on the morals of some individual in media or in politics to me just seems absurd. That's why I'm always an issues guy, because I'm sure that
we can talk about issues.
Push me.
I'm sure that everybody has some moral flaw or some problem in their
thousands of times. Wait, I just realized that the debate's super loud. I'm gonna put it a little bit less loud. Cause I am talking, yeah. Refundfluence, Sadfluence, Lunchfluence, Blue Jay Fluence. Thousands of times. I don't know what you mean by thousands of times. Let me go ahead and go back a little bit because I wasn't paying attention to the debate.
So
I don't have any
now
friends.
It's guilt by. So it is guilt by association.
Well, you're friends with him.
So
I'm not friends with.
So that is guilt by association, which you said you're not trying to do.
I'm trying to understand why you would be friends with somebody like that. So you are doing guilt by association. I'm asking you a question. Why?
Implying that it's morally wrong.
I'm trying to understand how morally you could associate yourself
And I'm trying to understand the ethics
as a
there.
friend, not
Right.
just for doing a show.
The morals are which are what? Like what's the
I think
because I don't think
people-
it's consistently applied.
I think people that associate themselves with people like Alice Jones are the same people that associate themselves with Donald Trump. I think it's
so
the
guilt
same,
by association.
I think it's same. Well, I think
this
it's,
whole course has been guilt by association,
Well-
which you said at the beginning you're not going to do.
well, what I was hoping to do is try to get an explanation from you on how you could be friends with somebody like that. I find that in general, and I'm going to make a general statement now, people that are big fans of Alex Jones or friends of Alex Jones tend to also be big fans of Donald Trump. And they're willing to push aside the Epstein stuff. They're willing to push aside his behaviors, the way he talks about women and Gold Star families and POWs, and the fact that he's named thousands of times in the Epstein files. I think the same kinds of people who support Donald Trump are gravitated towards Alex Jones. Yes, I'll say it again. I think Donald Trump and Alex Jones are similar. I think they're both horrible human beings.
Yeah.
They're horrible human beings who probably only care about
Right.
themselves. And, you know,
But again, I think this is what usually ends up being something not worth debating. I'm not saying you can't bring it up, you debate whatever you want, but the idea of only focusing on the morals of some individual in media or in politics to me just seems absurd. That's why I'm always an issues guy, because I'm sure that
we can talk about issues.
I'm sure that everybody has some moral flaw or some problem in their ethos.
I would never deny that. I would never deny what you're saying.
So then
I wasn't late. I was fucking late. Okay. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with your flower. What do you think of your flower? I like your flower. First off, I wasn't late because I did it last night. Okay? So, there you go. I was never late. Not late and not gay. Or even if I was late, I was not gay. So, there you go.
it's not consistently applied. So it would seem
There are
like
different levels
it would
of
seem like
mistakes
okay,
that are
how do we
made.
know the levels here? Because it seems like you're doing the very thing that you're saying shouldn't be done.
No, so there are different levels of mistakes that are made, whether you cheat on your
Who-
wife or
Well, who determines that?
okay. Well,
No, if you commit any kind of moral issue, that means that you voted for Trump because it is what it is. They don't have it. They don't have a moral standard, but they will go on and tell you about the moral standard at the same time. It's just the way to go.
well, I'm just giving you my opinions. There's no book on determining. I'm just telling you, simply put, if you're a person who intentionally lies about a school shooting when children are murdered to make money and clicks, you're a fucking disgusting human being.
But how do you know a person's motives? Maybe you do.
Because Alex Jones does it all the time. He says
how
things.
do you know the motives?
He's over the top, and he says
But
things.
how do you know the motives?
So you
don't
think
know.
Alex Jones didn't have? What do you think his motive is when he says things like
I'm saying that when you debate,
Mhm.
and again, you can debate whatever you want, but my critique of this type of debate is that when you debate people's motives is something that you can never really explicitly prove.
Why does that? Why did you think Alex Jones? Give me an educated guess, Jay, if you can. Why do you think Alex Jones said those things?
I believe that Alex has always,
Gay and goth
for
are
the
in the
most part, been sincere. That's why he has been willing to change.
Gay and goth aren't the same. Looks great, Emmett. Thank you. Okay, I will send it. I think it looks like, you know what it looks like. Oops, I did something wrong because I wasn't doing the correct thing on the correct screen. This looks like. Really? Stop. Alright, that's. This looks like a boss, like a boss in a game. That's how I think it looks like. I like it. Want to host a panel with me after a bit, Emmett? Not today. I can't. I have to go to bed in like an hour. And maybe an hour and a half. I gotta work tomorrow. And yeah. Gunfless pissed himself. What? What are you talking about? But I do want to host a panel with you again, Abe. I would 100% like to host a panel and talk about different cool stuff because there's like cool stuff we can talk about. Just to export as to 400 to yeah can do. This is Cauliflower boss. What I want to do. 400 visible layers, all frame forward. Just a frame is fine. Yes. Let me go ahead and send it over. It's a little bit more dynamic than if I had made a different kind of thing. But I really think it looks cool. It looks like a boss. I'm gonna add it to my screen for a little while. I just like how it looks like. And I want a flower on top of my head. That's the only reason, to be honest. There. I have a glowing flower on top of me. It's so dumb. Go up. There. I have a flower growing on top of me. I had to leave to pay my proper tax. I forgot them. It's a boss because it's me. Yeah, let's do that. Anyway, anybody who wants to be part of the next one, I'm gonna leave Frankie because he said me. But type 1 in chat and you can be part of the next giveaway. So type 1 in chat if you want to be part of the next giveaway.
Change his mind and admit he was wrong. For example, he recently admitted he was wrong that he thought Trump might reverse the course on Iran.
Let's talk about that.
He admits that he was completely wrong.
I do want to talk to you about that.
Well,
we're probably going to agree on that.
That's a recent admission that Alex said. I was wrong about this.
Okay, good. So let me ask you something about that because I disagree with you respectfully. If Alex Jones wasn't sued, do you think Alex Jones would have apologized?
Well, the lawsuit, as I said, highlighted the bad vetting. If you look, for example, at the prosecute where they were.
No, Jay, I understand.
Let me finish the question. Let me finish answering. When they were interrogating Owen Schroyer, and Owen was responsible for bringing on a couple people that.
So did Jay destroy Lion Brian? In my opinion, absolutely yes. Now, I think that Lion Brian thinks that he did a lot better than he actually do. And one of the reasons why is one of the cool things about Jay is that he can actually take the ideas and give people time to go over them, and he will try to understand what you're saying. So he is going to be talking about this for a little while. Anybody who wants that Pixelart, as I said, it's completely free. All you have to do is type 1 in chat.
Not just Wolfgang, but also the Zero Hedge article that they highlighted.
So the fact that he allows them to talk and gives them a little bit of time, it's going to be the cause what they believe that they won.
That was misinformation. So that was not properly vetted. And I'm saying that if you've got a network that has multiple people doing multiple cogs of the operation, you can't. I understand that the head of the operation is going to receive the brunt of the criticism, but it's not like Alex was just doing all of this without sincere investigation. I believe he's sincere.
Okay, so I that's where we disagree, and I would go as far as to say this. I believe that if Alex Jones wasn't sued and he didn't have to face consequences for his things, he would never have apologized or retracted anything because he never has in the past to my knowledge, for anything else. The reason why he apologized and says, I shouldn't have said that, which, by the way, he said in a courtroom, and then he said it was a kangaroo court, and he attacked the judge, and he attacked the prosecutors, instead of just being a man and saying, you know what, I really fucked up. I really shouldn't have said that stuff. What happened to those families was awful. Instead, he does what Donald Trump does. It's a kangaroo court. I didn't do anything wrong. So no, I disagree with you, Jay. I don't think Alex Jones would have ever retracted what he said, and I don't think Alex Jones would have ever apologized if, in fact, he was never facing a civil lawsuit, which he lost. That's my personal opinion.
This is
we can move on to Iran
because there's no way to prove
we
that
can
or know that.
Well,
so.
that's just my personal opinion. Right. Obviously, there's no way to 100% prove it, other than the fact that, to my knowledge, I don't think Alex has ever apologized for anything else on the air in the past. The only thing I could ever recall that he's ever apologized for or retracted was the comments he made about the school shooting and those kids being actors.
Yeah, and he recently retracted his position on Iran. He thought Trump would have a better course and a course correction, and he was wrong about that. He was wrong about the thing that was going around where Pam Bondi was saying that they were going to release the files. He thought that was a legitimate.
He has been.
He
has been open about criticism for the Epstein files because he's been talking about the Epstein files for years. And I think Donald Trump has made a lot of people like the Alex Jones type look really bad because Donald Trump has protected pedophiles, in my opinion.
Well, Alex has called that out.
I know that. That's what I just said.
So they're still talking about these specific cases, and the reality is, I don't think, and I might be wrong, and I still don't think the whole Iran thing is that bad. Sue me, tell me I'm a Trump, I don't care. Really don't think it's the worst. It's just my opinion, okay? It is what it is.
Good. Yeah, I'm happy. I agree with you on that.
So that would refute your claim that he never says
he's angry. Well, he's upset at Donald Trump. It's not really that he was wrong about something. He's upset
wrong about what Pam Bondi said like 2 months ago.
He's criticized at times the Trump administration for the Epstein
files. He doesn't give the apology that you want, basically.
It's not really the apology that I want. It's basically, it wasn't really an apology. He just basically, when it comes to the Epstein stuff, he's talked about how disappointed he was. He was wrong about Pam Bondi. He was wrong about Pam Bondi, and he thought Pam Bondi.
No, he said specifically that the claim that they were going to release more of the files, that when Pam Bondi claimed this, he shared that, and then a bunch of people on social media called him out. And he said, "You know what? You're right. I was wrong." So
that it's he's being called out, obviously, because there's a lot of people that don't want to have any more kind of interventionism, and I understand that. I'm not an interventionist, and I don't. Well, it depends. I do believe that if a person hates you and you go on and punch him in the face before he's able to do anything with his hate, I don't have a problem with that. But I do understand. My problem is I don't want an invasion. All I want is a punch in the face. Okay, a kick in the nuts. I want the complete destruction, if needed to be, of the whole place. But I don't want an invasion. Those are different things.
Well, I'm
just saying he will admit.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he did that. I was unaware of that, and I'm glad he did that. And we could end the Alex Jones conversation, but in closing, I'll just say this, and it's nothing that I've never said.
I have a closing statement too.
Yeah, I'll let it.
That's fair, of course. I think Alex Jones is what's horrible with society. I think there are grifters, the Candace Owens types. I put Alex Jones in that category. I think he only says things as an act to get clicks and to make money. What he did.
Well, if you are a radio show host, if you have your little place on the internet like I do, I'm having my little place in the internet, for example. I talk for money in a sense. I do art for money too, right? But when I'm talking about things and I having a debate and I come up and somebody donates anything, if somebody donates $1 or 5 or 10, or in a sense they're watching me because they care about what I'm saying. So I understand the idea of the grift. The grift is giving people something they don't want. It's kind of thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe I'm not correct, right? It can be the case that I'm not correct. But I'm starting to believe less and less that I am not correct when it comes to this. So, I don't know. I'm very annoyed by the conversation in and of itself. By the way, I'm probably gonna play a game next week. I've been thinking about it, and it's been a while since I played an actual game on the stream. And there's a game that reflects this week. And we're probably gonna be playing that next week.
Was disgusting, and then why the reason why this topic is so it should be personal to anybody, but it's even more personal to me because I grew up about 20 minutes away from Sandy Hook. Number one. Number two, I've interviewed some of those families who have to wake up every day without seeing their kids. It's
It's just pure manipulation. I care about the kids, by the way. I'm not going to say I don't. I do care about the kids, about the families. I think it's deplorable that I think it's bad. I don't even want to say deplorable. I think it's very sad that people are using them as political pawns. And I see this being done very much on the left. The left uses kids and uses political manipulation to get things to happen the way they want it to happen. So this is why I think Alex Jones was talking about it that way. So I'm not gonna say exactly the same thing, right? But I will say that I don't think the families of the kids are grifters. I don't think but I do think the shooters, and allegedly, because I don't know, but I would allege that the shooters are connected in some way, shape, or form to the people around it. So when I see this kind of bullshit going on around, I understand, and I really do understand why is it that we are seeing the types of people like Alex Jones, the type of people that are very on the right, the type of people that disagree with the government, the type of people that will do things against the government and will talk against the government in that sense as a way of, you know, they will be talking about these people and they will be saying that they're wrong and what they do is wrong and bad. So I get it. Like the tragedy of the kids is the tragedy of the kids, and the fact that they're being used by political pawns. They're being used as political pawns by people like Brian Shapiro. That they just use manipulation, and they talk about morality without having any morality. That is disgusting. The fact that they have no moral standards, the fact they have absolutely no morality in of themselves, the fact they will go on and from on one breath talk about the tragedy of the dying of a baby, and on the other there be pro-abortion. That is disgusting. That disgusts the fuck out of me. They have no moral standards.
reprehensible. And the fact that somebody like Alex Jones, and this is irrefutable, made their grief even worse with what Alex Jones put those families through is reprehensible. And I think only a reprehensible and repugnant human being would do what Alex Jones did. I have zero respect for him. I don't care how many followers he has. I have no more respect for him than I do like a Candace Owens type. And I know we'll probably agree on Candace Owens. There is a way to have differences of opinions, and there is a way to have a conversation without hurting people. And there are too many people, particularly in right-wing media today, that do that. They make claims that hurt people. They lie. They attack undocumented immigrants and brown people.
Oh, I totally forgot about the about me doing this. I apologize. Oh, Lord. Is Frankie here? I'm gonna send him a message. Frankie, are you here? If you're here, Frankie, let me know. If not, I know who where I might find at least Mr. Panga. So I'm gonna try to find Mr. Panga Weeble. Mr. Panga Weeble. So I can do that.
Do you know what his
Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it. Let me go ahead and check out if Frankie is here. I don't think Frankie is here. I'm gonna keep it out, and whenever I see him, I will give it up. If anybody wants a free one, by the way, this is the last time I'll offer it. You got 1 minute.
People every single day, making it seem like all these undocumented immigrants are going to rape your kids. They're wrong. They lied about the terrorist attack in New Orleans. They said it was undocumented.
It's so annoying that they can say words like that and I can't. I hate it. And they annoy me. Fucking disgusting.
Immigrant. They said it was because of Joe Biden's open border policies. They lie. They lied in conspiracy theories about what happened to Paul Pelosi when Paul Pelosi was attacked with a hammer. And Alex Jones was one of those guys that spread the conspiracy theory that Paul Pelosi had some sort of gay relationship with the guy that almost killed him with a hammer. Did Alex Jones ever apologize for that when the police report came out? And Matt Gaetz, when he was in office, another repugnant piece of garbage, and Ted Cruz spread those conspiracy theories. These right-wingers don't apologize usually. I'm glad that Alex Jones has done that, but there's a lot of people on the right that don't. They don't.
Congratulations, Sabe. What do you want as your free? As your free pixel art.
Retract, they don't apologize. When you get something wrong, why don't you wait until the information comes out first before you spread conspiracy theories? I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general terms, people on the right. And that's one of my biggest criticisms with the Laura Loomers of the world and so many others. It's all about clicks, Jay. It's about money and clicks. They don't care whether they get it right or not. I'm generalizing. There's a lot of people on the right on X. They want to be the first one to say it was an undocumented immigrant. It was a black person. It was this without knowing. And then when they get it wrong, they don't retract and they don't apologize. And I'm sorry if I'm going on a rant here, but on X, when you look at when they're fact checked, what is that called on the bottom?
Yeah, the fact checking.
Yeah.
Community note.
Yeah. What is the point of a community note? If somebody is getting a community note like 200 times, there are right wingers out there that have been community noted 200 times. They're not suspended. Their accounts don't get taken down. Why are we community noting people when they literally, it happens to them every day? So anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah. Again,
You gotta tell me what you want.
You know, so much.
What are they talking about?
real
But I
claim
have
to
to
fame
know
was?
that talking about. You can't expect us to look at a random study that does the same thing.
I'm never
and
going to
have it say the same
find. See,
thing.
that's where
You're never
I'm never
going to
going to find
it.
the right study.
I doubt you even
We
found
were
it in the first
so
place.
close. Okay, hey,
Doubt
there's
you
still
ever found it in
time.
the first
Close.
place.
Pull it up. You're in the affirmative.
Yo,
I'm
It's
not
not
the one
my
claiming
duty.
to have evidence.
what part of the debate are we at?
Tear it down.
We've made
You're challenging my
gargantuan progress.
worldview. You're
I was
challenging
doing
my
them
Actually,
now, but if you
yeah,
want
we're
to
an
get back to
hour.
me, just
Holy
get back
shit,
to
we
me.
actually have made
Just
progress.
like
We're an
Andrew.
hour
That's a
into
record,
this.
right? It's gotta be.
That's
You know what? Let's go to Confluence. Let's just get there. Let's finish the night with a banger. Let's finish the night with a banger. Why not? What is the? I don't want to do that one though. Do my one. Yeah, this is perfect.
It's been our argument the whole fucking night, you mook. That's
Emmett,
literally
That's
been
shitty.
Emmett,
all we
Emmett, Emmett,
talked
Emmett,
about.
Emmett.
There's a very high chance that you're not
Thank
actually
you.
responding to the other person's
Emmett,
argument if you do
I'm
that.
tagging out, and I'm tagging Emmett. I'm gonna fucking.
Where are you going?
Thank God. Actually, Emmett might be a breath of relief, and I hate saying that.
I'm just tagging. I got backup. Fucking cavalry. Fucking
Okay.
smoke this nigga.
07 Stretch.
Emmett, if I can see you do an internal critique on Trench, I swear to God, I will let you do one on me.
I
I
mean,
already
the
did,
main,
Melvin.
the main
When?
thing with Circus claim
Shit.
about trumping
I wish I would've seen
is
it.
I have a complete show on his beliefs. It's gonna be released probably on Monday. It was a live
Oh,
stream, but there
Conflicts, we
were
should review
some.
that.
It was a live stream, but it was taken down because the gamer words were spoken too much on that one.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the set of
We know how to
beliefs
party.
is actually going to be a several parter. So we went only through the first set of beliefs, and we're going through all of them. And during the course of it, I was doing a little bit of a critique on certain aspects of it. But there's a way to actually do it because he has a document about 250 pages long when he talks about his beliefs, and he is able to provide it for me instead of running like a bitch because he's unable to show me the fucking studies, even though
Wait, no, that was
months
our
have
contention.
passed.
Is I said
Even
to
though
you,
months have fucking passed, okay? It doesn't.
No,
I
Emmett,
don't care.
you're-
I don't care about that. Thank you so much for your
I
cooperation.
said to you, I'm going to send you the documents,
You are
and you
not
said
going
I'm
to
only
send me
going to
bullshit. You
read
said
the
that you're not going
methodologies.
to. You quite literally run away from the debate because you don't fucking remember
So
what
I
the
said I was
bullshit.
going to send you the documents, and you said I'm only going to read the
When-
methodologies, which is
Or
also
he
cherry picking.
derails the situation right when you're about to make your point because he feels the room
So-
tightening up. and
When-
then
So
he
just to
forgets
clarify,
what we're talking
you agree to read
Hopefully.
all of the documents I send you in full now.
I said to you that I was going to do a critique on the methodology of them.
Yep,
So
I was there.
don't-
I was fucking there.
So I
You
don't
absolutely did
care.
that.
I don't care about the conclusions, for example, because the conclusions are
Then
not.
I don't care. Then I don't care about doing an internal critique with you.
Oh my god! Then fine, don't do it. You see, you run away. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
You
Well,
talked
I
a
mean-
whole lot of stuff, dude.
So,
And this is before I did my
Did you make the
interview
same
with him.
demands of Trench?
So,
Yes, he kicked the shit out of my fucking theories. What are you
So
talking about?
he only went through the methodologies.
I only argue I'm not an
No.
odd
Bold of you
guy.
to
I'm
think
not-
that Trench said studies over, Mel. Very bold.
No, he has he's talking about a philosophical. He what he did is he took a philosophical idea. He took philosophical idealisms and then did he mapped
The
it out.
Frankenstein.
He mapped it out to sociological.
If any of you says the word teloi, I swear to God, I swear.
He mapped it out to sociological frameworks, and then he came up with the three telois, and each one of them is they
said
they
the
map
word.
on. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Sociological.
In fact, I
metaphysics.
only said it because I wanted you to lose your shit. That was the only reason why I did it. So that he mapped it up into the triangles, and then we see it's all triangles. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea, but he doesn't have a methodology
He's got
that
he's got critiques, and I have no. I'm only describing his, and you can put a
Well,
few different things into it where it's gonna
What-
clash.
one of the big critiques I have is that he says that it's only ISIS, and I said that there are odds imbued in between them. Otherwise, it's impossible to have a system like that being created.
And I'm saying those are the function. Those are not teleologies, confluence, but those are their ontologies. So by nature, a fascist is going to behave a certain way, and
I'm not
murking out
taking
of
debate.
and
I'm not taking
murking,
debate. Nope.
and murking out of
Absolutely
the
not.
shadows
Nope.
isn't ontologically
Mel-
one
Melvin,
of those.
Everyone has their line.
For
Confluence has the
example,
line.
for
Nope.
example, Melvin as
Nope.
a true fascistic person is gonna behave as a true fascistic person. Why do you have a Mexican influence, but you forget the snow? You forget the snow before the Mexican. What are you doing?
Oh, I forgot my name
the
is
fuck are you
still.
doing?
This is a K2 name change. I forgot I could change it back in
You
an
you're
are
hour.
sending
doing
Emmett.
it wrong. You're just doing it wrong. You forgot
Yeah.
the snow at the beginning.
Get tone policed.
Can I say one thing about the Teloys really quick?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just one
Fuck
thing.
off.
Yeah, please.
I just have a
Fine.
suggestion. Just one
Yes.
suggestion.
How many
Yes.
colors?
Instead of making it like a bunch of triangles with a bunch of like words and categories and stuff, how about you just like write out arguments with premises that lead to the conclusions that you want
Because
to make
I'm
it more
of a-
clear.
Because I'm more of a visual person, so I think that like nothing is more clear when it comes to categories than actually constructing the categories and showing them to people.
Yeah, Emmett, I don't know why you didn't just
there-
ask me to do the same thing.
No,
Wait,
can we move on? That was it. That was it.
Brandon, it exists. You just haven't seen the full document.
Like,
It's fine.
like geometry is one of the 7 liberal arts, and I am also illustrating a metaphysical geometry.
Male.
To call geometry a liberal or art is fucking nonsense, Trench. If you think about it,
No,
that's
they're
fucking
they're
nonsense. If you
scientists.
really think about it,
So you think rhetoric? You think rhetoric?
Predates
See,
liberal
grammar.
arts.
You think
Do you-
rhetoric,
wait.
grammar, and
do you mean like the?
are
Do you mean?
Did I do
trivium
this
do you mean
and
like
the
wrong? Sorry.
quadrivium?
Do you mean like the quadrium or like the
Crumpled
trivium?
mouth.
Because you said
Yeah.
geometry. You said geometry is a liberal art.
Yes.
That's
It's
not.
a part of
That
the
doesn't make any sense,
My
brother.
favorite Pixelart.
It's a part of the quadrivium, and there's actually
Yeah, it
Christian
is.
epistemology in all of this.
Sure, but just because something is part of the
Exactly.
the trivium or the quadrium.
No,
doesn't mean
it goes back to the Leviathan fascist. Like the fascist has to ride
If you say
Leviathan.
Leviathan one more time, I'm gonna kill myself in
Fascist.
Minecraft, but also in real life.
but
Okay.
Leviathan doesn't need to ride the fascist. Hobbes.
I don't know what that
Well,
means,
still the
Trench.
stream.
You
Don't
see,
kill
you
yourself.
should just write out your. You should just write out your ideas, make them in arguments. Maybe have a little tab to the
Okay,
side
the
with
argument of that
definitions for
is-
words that you use. Just make it
is
super
all
clear.
Of these genitalia
Brandon.
and all that, their philosophies don't supersede Hobbes's philosophy.
I don't think that
Okay.
engages with anything I just said.
Brandon.
It absolutely did.
Typical.
I
Brandon.
provided you a challenge, and you don't see it because you see in abstractions versus A
Okay.
equals B. And
Dr-
this is the problem that
Brandon?
Andrew's having with Circa.
Still
that
going.
almost the very beginning.
Yes,
I'm
man.
done. I'm muting myself.
Trench,
Sorry.
calm down. It exists. All of what you're asking is
Oh,
already
thank God.
done. It really
Okay.
it's done already. Okay, it's
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Emmett, why didn't you ask me to write out the arguments as a bunch of teloids and then the
because
premises
I
with
don't
conclusions?
because you don't have that. You are a lefty, so all you have is baseless thing that you think is
So to be
science.
clear, if I did
And
that,
then-
would you
and then
be
if I
willing to
go-
internally critique that? To be clear, if I did that,
Because
would you be
you
willing to
have-
internally critique that?
because you don't have that. What you have is this thing that you think is science, and then if
See,
I
now
go
it seems
to the
like you're
methodology,
running.
You have no logos or ethos. You're just pure pathos. So you
Oh, I
can't
have
even
logos. So
comprehend
it seems
the
like you're
triangle.
running.
You
I
have
have
no
logos.
so
idea
I'm
what my
happy.
triangles
if
are.
you're gonna allow me to finish my sentence, you probably understand why
I don't want to
I'm gonna
allow
go to the
anyone to finish
methodology.
their fucking
So the
sentence.
the methodology.
I don't want to allow anyone to
the-
finish
the me-
anything.
Any
Oh,
sentence.
Okay, confluence, but it says Emmetfluence, so I'm still talking. So the
No, it's Kirby
You,
fluent.
you hacked my
the-
shit. Fuck off.
the
Kirby fluent.
thing.
No,
the-
I can talk.
the
I can talk
thing-
louder. Than that.
I can talk louder too. Okay. So
No, I
the
can
point
definitely talk louder.
I can talk louder because I can
Yeah?
turn you
I have
almost
a
an
way
absurd
louder
you think you
mic.
can
down,
actually do
okay?
it louder?
Yeah, oh yeah, come on,
Oh,
Emmett,
yeah?
let's go.
You know what? It is video time. Thank God for my small bladder, so I get an excuse to play the video. Well, I go take a pee. Because still here,
no,
y'all.
it's not just that.
But
All
no one
the
talk
things
over the
listed
video,
thus
okay, if you
far
think
wouldn't
about it.
qualify.
Except for
You would need
small
to have
comments.
You would need to have 3 of the cores together.
Mhm.
One of them would be corporatism, and you don't got that.
Corporatism is not a necessary definition of fascism.
Name a fascist society that didn't
It
practice
isn't.
Well, how about I ask you this? When did Italy?
Yeah, no, how about you
enact-
answer my question?
When did
Name
the
a
Just trying to
fascist
kill over
society-
yourself, okay?
No, I need you to answer.
Oh boy.
I need you to answer.
Or
When did
piddle, I
Italy
guess.
actually
Whatever it is that
institute
comes out of there.
the corporate fasci of the corporate.
Little
After
dribble,
power
dribble,
or
drop.
before?
That was after power.
There's a dibble, dibble, dop.
So your version of fascism is literally undiagnostic and worthless because you can't diagnose it until after.
No,
it's
because when you're talking
Right?
about the thing that you brought up, which was what
Are you
were
going to
the
engage with what I said, or
I'm literally doing that, but you have to shut your mouth, right? So the thing is like,
Mm-hmm.
if it's the case that before you move towards thing, you're saying that's the thing you're going to move
Make
towards.
sure you clean up
That's
after
what I'm
yourself,
saying.
okay, Catholics?
In this
so
case, that's
1914? What type of
Histrionic
not
in the
corporatism
face
was
of facts.
Mussolini advocating for?
Let him finish. Let him
chill
finish.
out, dude. You
You
gotta
already
let me.
finished.
How am I? How I'm still in the middle of the fucking sentence. How am I finished? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about?
History.
So,
See how he
anyway,
looked
the
for
thing
his
is,
watch
like,
that he's
look,
not
man,
wearing. He does. He does that
I
against Rob
was
too. When
Italy
got bad
fascist
poker
before it
tells.
was fascist?
Aw.
No,
It's a bad
that's
suit.
true. It was not a
Bad
fascist society before it was a fascist society. I agree. So the thing is like there's no
So,
fascist society that I'm aware of
wait, are you
that did
answering the
not
first
that did
question
not
or doing
practice.
something else?
Hang on, that did not practice
It means I was
corporatism. If you
exposed
could
and I
name
wanna
a
flee from
society
it.
that was fascist that did not practice corporatism, I want to hear
And
about.
back to the prop.
Sure. What's your
Can
definition?
we
of
pause it
corporatism?
here for
I'm
just a
taking
second?
notes.
You know, we can pull up
Taking
the
notes with
exact
my
def-
prop.
Just a second. I have a question. So,
Mhm.
if a society is fascist in every way but corporatist, then what is it if it's not fascist still?
Hey,
Probably like
it's
turbo
Lion. Good to
fascist
see
or one
you.
of these other
Phone's
retarded
getting in the way of
prefixes
Mel.
that
Yeah.
You're
almost
failing to
feel
understand
Yeah,
the
they are.
Every one of those
Fascism,
prefixes
which
includes the
There
word
you go,
fascist.
trying
So
to
I'm
use
asking,
ethos and logos.
Okay, what
to
about
understand it.
hyper paleogenic pseudo fascism? You ever heard of that? That's probably a term that some retard has said.
Does
What
that
does
sound
that
like
mean?
an
term
ethos
some
thing?
retarded said,
Wait,
Does that
wait.
sound like a logos or ethos thing?
Wait,
I guess
confluence.
I'm just
Stop
wondering.
being on
I'm
the floor,
wondering
no Mexican
how
fluence.
much
Okay,
does
dude.
the lack of corporatism
Confluence, what
affect the
does that mean?
definition?
What does what mean?
You
Means
The
whatever
lack
you
of
want it to be.
corporatism?
No, the thing you said,
It doesn't mean
hypo.
anything. He just made up a word.
Well, I mean, kind of, but you know, it was related to some of the things that were said.
It's one of the
He took
definitions.
words he's heard before and put them together into something a little.
No,
Yeah,
the
that's true.
Paleon. I
Yeah.
can explain Paleogenesis. I can
Oh,
explain
You said hypo.
hypernationalistic. Well, yeah, hypo. Yeah. So hypo is like the opposite of hyper, right? So that's a thing. So it's not true fascism. That's why it's hypo nationalistic paleogenic.
And what was the important part of that?
Isn't hypo
fascism.
like the
Part was
antithesis
the
of
important part
hyper?
was
Like
the guy who
lesser-
wrote that shit said that Trump
Yeah,
is
wow.
not.
So
a
it's not
fucking
quite
fascist.
national. It's not quite national. No, this is my thing that I'm coining. I get to coin these
I
retard
love how
terms too.
confluence sounds
No, I'm
smart.
talking
He
about the
looked
guy,
it up.
though.
Paleogenic
Interesting.
pseudo-fascism.
I
Read
don't
a
understand
fucking
what he's
book.
saying.
I love how you
I
sound the
want
smartest,
to
but you make stuff
know-
up.
What does that
It's in the
mean?
book.
Can you tell me what it means?
Okay. Yes, hypo-nationalism means it's slightly less than nationalism. Like you're getting close, you're edging nationalism, but you're not like fully like making nationalism coom, right? And then the paleogenesis is the same thing that is in the freaking what's his
Why do you have to
freaking
be a
name?
fucking coomer?
Roger Griffin.
Yeah,
No, he's not. He's
That's
not.
his
He's
thing.
using the
Hey, I'm
argument that
answering a
he's
question. Okay, the paleogenesis, right?
He's
That's
good
where you
thinking
have
right
like
now.
some mythos.
Why
You're
do
harkening
you
back to some
have to be a
halcyon era,
coomer?
and then the pseudo means it's false because it's not really fascism, but it's made fascism adjacent, and fascism means
Don't get mad at the
fascism.
translator,
Okay,
Emmett.
that makes
You're
sense.
a
This is
fucking
my
coomer.
neologism.
No,
Get
he's
fucked.
translating Emmett.
No, he's not translating. He's not
No, that's
translating.
their
He's just
definition.
a
That's
fucking
what we've
coomer.
been debating against. And the guy that uses
It's
this
not.
definition in a source that Circa
Are
fucking
you really this bad at
presents
keeping up with
at
the
the
arguments and what's
beginning.
going
Oh,
on?
yes, this is where it gets funnier because you can clip all of this back 100%.
Uh-huh.
And at the beginning, one of Circa's arguments is built upon the guy I am talking about. And in this guy, he says Trump is not a fascist.
That is
We've
a,
esta- and
that
we've
is a true.
established it.
That's a true statement. Roger
And
Griffin.
I'm done doing their homework.
Yeah, when did he say
which
that?
Is why
'Cause
I'm
if he
being
said that in
vague
Trump's,
the loop.
when did he say that? Because if he said that in Trump's
Doesn't
first term,
matter.
When did he
I
say
wouldn't
that?
believe he
No,
still believes
you
that in
know.
When
Trump's
did he
second
say
term.
that exactly? When?
And it was
No,
just
I'm
exact
actually
over-
curious
I'm
because
asking
Trump,
when.
I think
Trump has
Zerka,
done
like
different
Andrew,
things in his second term
I'm
than in his first
asking
term.
like
no, but
when.
Andrew said that, and Zerka didn't even disagree. So
Emmett,
Right.
you
I'm
know,
I'm
he's-
asking when was that? Where is that quote from? Do you guys know, or should I look it up?
At the start
I don't
of
know.
this-
I don't know.
start of
But I
this,
think
I lay several
we can't.
trap
Yeah,
cards,
the
and I
ultimate thing would be
admit
looking it
to
up
the
if you want to do that,
audience I
Mel.
am laying
But I
trap
think it
cards.
is telling that
For the
Zerka kind of
future.
just accepted that. Yeah, even freaking.
There's nothing going on right now. It's just annoyingness. Like, They're talking about absolutely nothing. They're just making fucking terms and being coomers. It's so annoying.
Yes,
Yeah, we're
no,
also
but
here.
it's mainly just Mel. Everybody
Oh,
else.
Alex says, I would like to hear Trench sit in silence for 10 minutes. But he donated $20. So, Trench, if you think about it, he's having mercy on you because, you know, it's $1 per minute for everyone except me and Mara, who freaking Mara hasn't come back for a while. She came back for the Thorpes. Do I have to get the Thorpes back on?
Did I give 20? I thought I gave
back? What kind of fucking catch-22 am I in?
Well, you did
Trench, you are muted. I will set a timer for 10 minutes.
You did do her dearly, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I always do. Okay. Oh, K2. Okay, now we're getting into Confluence making some money. Yeah, this is what we should be doing. And then someone else pay money to, you know, and then Confluence can afford, you know, a car one day. That's kind of the whole.
Free the black man.
Free the black man. Abraham Lincoln fucking coded, based, red pilled, black pilled, but not in the typical sense of the word.
I do want to point out you were
revolutionary
someone who's
because I
so
said the
illiterate
Christian
that they
empire
don't know
will
how to
grow
spell
the
the word
corpse of their
black.
secular
Don't
nation.
matter, dude.
Yeah.
K2's my nigga. He's got to pass.
Hey,
You don't.
hey, it could be that a lot of times people try to super chat and it's blocked because
No, stop
YouTube
making
gets like
excuses.
saucy.
The majority of your fucking audience is illiterate, so like, stop living in denial.
Yeah, I bet you
You're
think my
a
niggas
part
is
of the
fucking
audience,
illiterate,
Mel. Whether you
fucking
like it or not,
asshole.
whether
Melvin,
I like it or not,
you're the
okay,
most illiterate.
you are part.
This
Oh, here we
projecting
go.
racist
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh, now I'm feeling it. Oh, now I'm feeling. Let's
Wait,
fucking go.
what's the
Now
math on
25
this?
minutes
How
now.
much credit does Alex have?
Alex,
25,
I don't know. I mean, Alex
35?
can clarify, but Alex is, again, it's
Yeah,
only
10
$1
minutes.
per minute. So
Yeah,
And he would need 10 minutes
35.
for the. So
Alex is, you know, I feel like
25.
Alex is paying double, you know, which is based. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah, he
King
just
Alex.
wants the 25 minutes, you know?
King Alex. But no, you have to figure out how much credit he has in case
And is this the real
he's encountered
Abe?
something.
I can't remember
Yes,
Abe's
he is the real Abe.
authentication.
He is the real
thing.
Abe.
For
He
sure?
is. I'm
It
pretty
sounds
sure.
like Abe tried to trick me before and it was a P-bomber. You sure this is a real Abe?
I can let me
Abe, type
message
something in
him.
the chat. Abe's a mod, so I can see if it's him. K2 with the okay, holy shit.
Oh, wait. If Alex has
Leave the
$25
black
credit
man
now,
alone.
if Alex
No,
has
they're paying the
$25 credit,
same.
then he counters
Alex
this.
clarified he
They're
doesn't want
paying
the
the
credit.
same
He said,
amount.
he said just
Tell
25
the
minutes.
Dawn what's
Okay, it
that
is Abe.
flower you have on.
And let me
Yeah,
give
it's
that a
Abe.
bump up.
Yeah, but Alex
Leave the
can
black
counter
man
this
alone.
with
Did
his
I
extra
hear
25.
This is like you know that what's that Stalin quote I always forget when I think it was Stalin or Lenin where it's like
Am I the only one trying
zero
to do math here?
no period of time happens for like a lot of time. Anyone know what quote I'm talking about?
Hey, Dinkus,
Where it's like
salute.
in a big period of time nothing happens, in a small
How you
period of
doing,
time
Leatherneck?
everything happens. Guys know what I'm talking about?
Good.
You don't have to go to Safe Trench.
How's it going, Abe?
K2 has it
Oh,
covered.
not too bad. About yourself?
I'm eternally sussed by you, Abe, because of that guy who
Okay,
tried to
I
like,
will
you
do
know,
that. I'll mute
'cause
that
he
for
had
a
a
second. Thank you so much, everyone that's here. Today is Morte Rela's birthday. So I want all of you to go to Morte Rela's, host of TPNN, and sub to his channel. Because even though TPNN is not the best news organization, it's still a great news organization.
Make any sense why if Abe's joining, it wouldn't show his StreamYard name in the thing. It's like, wait, this is a screen capture.
It is
All
Abe.
these people are retarded. Oh, the big hundo. He's only this is a specific request. He's only allowed to talk for 30 seconds every 5 minutes from here on out.
Okay.
Fascism.
That is
you owe me again, Confluence.
Sheesh.
wow.
Sounds
Thank
spicy.
you, Alex. Thank
Are
you,
we ever gonna get to
K2.
this
I
video?
mean, god damn.
Trench.
Confluence is going to be card-coded in no time. We just
Okay.
need
Join us-
Trench
join
to,
me,
you know,
K2.
be more.
Let's help him buy a second monitor.
Ho, ho.
Nice.
That
There's
would
your
be
second
nice.
monitor, dude.
And in a very quick span of time, this is possibly my most profitable stream ever.
By the way,
K2 with
Confluence, did you say
The last
150
time I
undo
started a
Alex.
bidding war, it was specifically shots fired at the commies. Like
That is crazy. And I
proving my
actually
point
do already
again.
have a second monitor. I did buy that. I haven't set it up
You
yet,
mother.
but it's finally arrived. This
Fine,
is for
that's
the
for your
car
car.
fund. We are
Confluence,
focused on the
Confluence.
car now. Yeah.
That's why we have
Car
a
fund.
focus on
You
the
know-
car.
You know what the best part
Communism.
is, though?
Always.
I'm actually gonna go to bed now. So
I thought you were buying a scooter.
I already have a scooter. I'm trying to upgrade from Scootfluence to Carfluence.
Oh, we
We
do have.
played this game before.
No,
and it
you're
didn't
he's,
well.
he's tried to have an
Now.
enclosure when he
Your
drives.
Scootfluence for the rest of my life, as far as I'm concerned, because that is a funny ass name, Scootfluence.
Scootfluence. That's a
I
good
like
one.
it.
That's one of the
Sounds like
best.
why did I tell everyone this? It sounds like a
the
dog. That's
best
like,
so
you know,
far.
when you see a dog doing the
How
thing.
much you change
That
your name to
actually is
Scootfluence?
very close to what the scooter that I own. I don't use
We
it
got
because it's
him.
winter. Okay, I just technically own it. Okay, I
Sure.
technically
Are
own
we
it.
Go to,
Your name.
are we gonna continue milking the cow that is this video?
We got
Sure.
it.
Yeah, dude.
Great question.
Dude, we're just
I'm gonna be
playing the
milking a
tip with the
cow that
grip.
is this video for the next like 3 days. Okay, because you know it's gonna take a hot minute to get through it.
Grift on, brother. Grift on.
I wanna
See?
just so you know,
Welcome, K2.
Confluence. Did you know that it's Cat's
Shalom.
birthday?
What's up, K2?
That it's what
What's
day?
up?
It's
Shalom.
Cat's birthday.
Oh yeah.
I
True.
did. I wished her happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy
Okay.
birthday, cat.
Is Emmett
Good to
British?
see you, young Christian.
No, he's
Yes.
not British.
Yes, I'm British.
Emmett,
Oh my
British?
gosh.
I'm
Oh
from
my gosh, he's
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
It's the other side of the empire. It is.
It's
Hold on, guys. Confluence, don't spend that all in one place. You're fucking drunk.
It's going into the car fund, okay? It's going into the car fund.
it's
going to his
southwesties.
Sonics.
Jesus Christ,
The problem is,
K2. If I
all the
knew,
cars
if I
are
knew,
so expensive now. It's fucking crazy. At least in Canada, I don't know
Yeah,
if they're like in
they do.
America. They're insane.
Sheesh.
I need to
I
find
would've-
ways of
Hey,
meeting
too.
people.
I've been
I would have
enjoying
said to boot
French.
him, but I wasn't sure if he'd follow up.
You left
Thanks
the
for
day
doing
that
that.
Circa was in here last. We tore him to pieces, and he stayed for more of it, which was hilarious to me. So I flipped over the game board table and fucking started a bidding war.
It's funny because this whole debate here that I witnessed between Andrew and Circa, it's funny because it's reminiscent of a debate that I had with Emmett, not live, and I think I could have argued this a little bit better.
You argue it a lot better.
Wait,
I mean,
better
it's-
than-
it's-
better
It's,
than-
I'm sure you
it's
did,
because
yeah.
of ethos and logos. You get to the point. You
It's-
better
Oh
than
my
give
God.
me
Andrew,
a
or
data.
better than you could have like Steelman Zerka or Zerka's point.
Yes,
Or
yes,
yes.
but it,
There you
but-
go.
But it is
You
about
shove your
steel
ethos
manning
up
at
your
the end of the
logos,
day.
okay?
but
No,
I don't
it's about steel
agree.
manning.
I don't agree with his side, but I could devil's advocate it really well.
I enjoy.
That's that empathy that you don't agree with, that we don't agree about.
There
That's
is
right.
no empathy.
The
if
thing
this
that doesn't
fake
exist.
gay
Yes.
trans-
Nobody's
I
talked
get it.
about empathy.
I
I
get
don't know why you're
No,
so
that's,
on
that's,
empathy.
that's being Abe's thing.
Oh
Like
my
we're on
God.
the same side, but we can disagree.
Empathy is
No, we
fake and
can't
gay.
disagree. We cannot disagree on facts. Okay, we can disagree on opinion,
like Confluence.
but not
What?
facts.
Wait, what's
I
a
can
fact?
never understand why people say empathy doesn't exist. I
Because
just
it's fake
can't.
and gay.
Because it's
He
fake
said
and
the word
gay.
empathy. He
Like
has
it's
not meant
funny
the
to
actual word
say it's
empathy.
fake and gay, but
It is fake and gay.
It's
It is-
just
it is
fake and
not
gay.
I
fake
get
and
that.
gay.
I get
It is
that
not
point.
something that doesn't
Wait,
exist.
did you
The
miss my
best
debate?
Doesn't exist.
the best
Did you miss my
argument
debate?
this had against me is he said, "Hey, you're using the second dictionary definition and
No,
not the
no. Wait, did you
one."
miss my debate on this?
Yeah, who'd you debate on this?
Oh, Teriak.
I see Teriak, but I don't know. I don't know his competency. I just see
What-
him on like Speakeasy sometimes. But
What was your argument?
Terry
Yeah.
Young's
Teriak is a
good
bad
debater.
wild card. He's
You'd
really
have
good,
to watch.
but you just don't know when he's
Like,
fucking with you.
what's
or not.
the argument you were
That's the
making?
fucking fun
I don't want to
part.
watch a fucking 2-hour video to see what, like, to understand like 2 seconds of arguments.
Because okay, so basically the conception of empathy itself is a falsehood from its origin. They utilized a word from a long time ago, like ancient Rome, Greece, these things,
Germany.
and then they switched up the meaning a tad bit, and then it was introduced to America in 1908 as a new thing called empathy, not empathia. And what they did is they created something where you can share in the emotional state of objects, not people, objects, art, in fact. And then they continued from there to the fact that you could share in the actual emotional response internally of another human being. And it's been pushed ever since, and it's shape-shifted over time to be this new thing that's a virtue. It's literally used to say, I'm virtuous. It's not used to say that it means
Are you talking
something.
about sympathy or empathy?
So empathy. I argued that as well. I argued that sympathy is a reality and empathy is a falsehood. Yes, empathy is a falsehood. Sympathy is a truth.
Okay, but I feel like this. I feel like okay.
Hold on. So
hold
on. The difference. Do you know what the difference is between empathy and sympathy?
Yes, I
But-
do. And this is argued in that debate. It's the understanding part. But the problem with that is there's a shared. No, concern is in the definition of sympathy.
Yes, I know. I'm saying with empathy, there's no concern. You can just understand someone else's experience. That's all.
I don't believe that to be the case.
So for sympathy to exist, you have to go to understand.
We're at different paradigms. We're at different paradigms.
I'm gonna do something.
So I understand Abe. Like Abe,
I'm gonna do something.
We can unpack that shit later. No need for blue on blue ceasefire.
I want to ask. I want to ask Abe a question because, like, Abe, I don't know if you just disagree. Like, you could, I guess you could go on two paths. But I guess if I you don't know what I'm about to say, Trench.
I know, but
you don't know what I'm about to say if you think about it, Trench.
If you think about
you
it,
don't know what I'm about to ask Abe if you really think about it. You don't know what I'm going to ask him.
It was like, why can't we use Mussolini's definition?
Trench, I just paid for you. You're making me look bad.
If you think about it.
Sorry,
This is what you If it's my 30 seconds every 5 minutes stuck, he'd be done already.
Oh my god!
The way Abe defined it, I understand. This was kind of what Emmett was trying to run on me, and I get it. That like, yes, we can't actually enter into someone's experience, and so in that sense, it is fake and or gay. But my definition, and it's not just my definition. I showed this in modern dictionaries as well. If we care about that at all, I'm not saying we should, but my definition was that empathy is you're doing your best to imagine what it is like to be in someone else's shoes and experience their emotions.
Why?
So that imagine is carrying a lot of weight. You don't actually know. You can't actually go into their experience. You're just doing your best to imagine what it's like.
And
here's the issue. Wait.
I know you studied psychology, and I know in psychology, especially in the
another gay guy.
Like Jaspers and the humanistic tradition with Rogers, there's a big emphasis on patient understanding, where you try to understand a client through putting yourself in the client's shoes, so to speak, right?
So you can cry with him.
Here's the issue, though. Here's the issue.
Are you gonna cry with him like a gay guy? Are you gonna be the crying guy?
Listen, this
I want to hear Abe
there's manifold issues with this. First of all, you don't have the perceptual framework that they have. You only have your own perceptual framework. Then you also don't have this
imagining.
Right. So here's the issue. You cannot share in the emotional response of another human being if you do not have the same framework they do, the same experience they do.
You can
so
imagine
there is no actual physical way to exhibit empathy. There's only an imagined or perceived version. Yes, it is true. It is absolutely true. If you use psychology. If you use psychology as your framework, there is no possible way you could actually state that you can exhibit empathy as the way it's written. You cannot. You cannot share in the emotions.
First of all, not as it's written. Like, this is what Emmett, I think, fell into. Sorry,
What
Emmett.
definition are you using?
Emmett and Abe agree.
In my definition, right, which
Emmett and
again,
Abe are on
which
the
is
same-
Emmett's main critique was that I'm not using the first definition, I'm using the second or third one or whatever, but words have
You use
multiple
whatever
meanings.
definition you want, and
Hold
then
on, are
you
you
change in
talking like a
between them.
mind
Emmett, I asked
Is that what
if
you're
you can
talking about?
imagine, Emmett, in
Because
that
I'm simply
conversation,
referring to mirror
I have
neurons.
it.
That
No, I got to dunk on Emmett for a second. Emmett, I said, do you think you could imagine what it's like to ride an elephant? And you said no. You said, because I've never ridden an elephant, I can't imagine. And I have it on stream.
No.
I have it. Which is a fucking crazy
listen to my
concession
words.
to make.
Listen to my words. I can't imagine fucking. I can imagine riding a fucking elephant. Can you?
Are you? Are you saying you can?
I
You're saying you
cannot.
can't?
I cannot. Can you imagine it?
You can ride them at the Renaissance
Yes.
Festival.
How?
Yes, I can imagine
Okay.
riding an
Now,
elephant.
It's like $3.
now.
In
Is
the
that
90s,
thing
in the
that you're
early 90s, it was
imagining the same as
$3 to ride
riding a
the
fucking elephant?
No, that's why it's imagining
Okay,
riding an
so-
elephant. If you think about it,
No,
right?
no,
If you think
okay,
about it,
okay,
that's
perfect.
riding an
Wait,
elephant and imagining
wait,
riding an elephant, not exactly the
This
same.
is perfect.
And I couldn't
So
ride
are you
this
gonna
elephant until I was a
tell the people that
My
ride
mom
an
said, "You're
elephant
not
that have done
paying
it
money for that.
how
I
to
can't
do it
afford
because you can imagine
So I
it?
had to pay for it myself.
No,
I rode the
No,
shit
we're
out
not
of that
telling
elephant.
people
Okay,
how they
perfect.
should feel.
Perfect.
Hold
Amazing.
on,
Amazing.
hold on.
Amazing. No, we're gonna move there.
Several
We're gonna
years
move there.
later.
So why the fuck would I need empathy for anything?
Because I can imagine riding an elephant, and though I can,
I
and then
cannot.
I can
Empathy.
imagine,
I
and then I
cannot.
can imagine,
I cannot.
and then I can imagine like
Trench,
Because
fuck
it
off for a
helps with
second. I ask a
cooperation,
question.
you
Fuck
dumbass.
off a second. Fuck off,
Jesus
everybody.
Christ, what stupid, how
Confluence.
stupid of a question is that?
Why the fuck do I need for
the
anything?
utility, and I brought this up last time. I'll bring it up again
Animal
because
of
Mel,
Carthage.
Mel was
I,
on.
Then I can
panel.
imagine
I'm gonna
the
ask
animals
you.
of
I'm gonna ask you like
utility
10
or elephant.
times.
Trench,
In
I'm
ancient
just trying
Greece.
to. I'm trying to have a thing with Emmett. Okay, not in a gay way, just like
Talk
in a
about
conversation.
imagination. Oh, you were talking
But-
about a gay way for
But
sure.
the thing, so with like Mel, it's like I
Why?
think, and this is
Gay
why
boy.
I don't like how conservatives
Oh
often deal with this.
God.
Well, just let me finish
Answer
my
the
point,
fucking
okay?
question. Don't
I
care about the
am.
Man,
meta.
that's that libertarian gay
What
boy.
the, I'm
in
not having. Are you
If-
fucking retarded?
If
You asked me. You asked me what the
Ooh.
utility.
If-
you asked me what the
antisocial,
utility
so
is.
if you're not gonna tell us, if
Okay,
you're
you
not,
don't want
if
me,
you're,
you don't want me to answer. You
by
don't want me to
my-
answer. You asked me what the utility is and
I'm
having
gonna,
empathy.
I'm gonna ask
giving
the
you
question
an
again
example of the
because you're.
utility.
I'm not go again because
Hold
apparently you
on.
don't understand the question. Okay, the question was, and this is the line of questioning: if you can imagine
Half
how
my
to ride a
Easter
fucking
egg.
elephant, but you're not gonna tell people who actually ride an elephant based on your imagination
already
how to
answered
do it.
that
Shut the fuck
question.
up for a second. Okay, if you're not gonna do anything about it based on your imagination, why the fuck can you tell me anything or can I have you get any prescriptions in accordance of your imagination of how things feel?
Okay, so it's
that's
completely
not my
not the
position
question
either.
you just
It
asked
is a
me.
question.
I love
Why
how
do
you
I
asked me a
need it for?
question, and then when I'm starting to answer, you
No,
interrupt me to
no,
repeat your
you
question,
keep
but you
on-
actually answer. You actually
Emmett.
ask a completely different question.
Yes,
it's
it's about
not even a related
it's still
question.
the same question. It's
Emmett,
about
no, it's
why the
not.
fuck do
This
I
is
need it?
completely
You said, what is the
unrelated to what
point of having
empathy is and what it
empathy?
means.
Why do I need
Jesus
to feel
Christ,
what
you
you
guys are
fucking
fucking-
feel?
Okay, that's the question.
No, let them.
But now, will you let me answer the question?
Will you do it, or you're gonna go into meta?
I'm not going into. I don't know what I don't know what you think meta means. I'm not going to meta at all.
About the
I'm giving an
conversation of the
example.
conversation, can you tell me?
I know, I'm not
about
doing that
it?
at all.
Or
I'm not
just
doing
answer
that
the
at
fucking
all. I mean, I don't know if
question?
you cut me off too soon,
Just
but
answer
I'm
the
not doing that
question.
at all.
What's going on?
Okay, so
We
the
cannot hear
utility
anything.
would be
Oh,
this is an example of the utility. That's why I brought up Mel, is that with trans people to just have sympathy, I think would just be to see that they are suffering in some way. To have empathy would be to actually try to imagine, you don't know, but imagine what it would be like to look at yourself in the mirror and hate yourself, even though
What
I don't
about
have that. You don't
heritage,
have that.
not
Emmett,
Fine.
but
Are you?
What's the there's
Do I
utility?
need-
Just let me finish. Just let me land the plane. There's
You're not
utility in
landing the
imagining
plane.
what
Hold
would
on.
that be like, and so that is the point of doing that, because that can lead to greater compassion for
It's
people
not
and a greater
imagination.
understanding.
There you go. Greater compassion. Why is that a prescription?
Hold on.
It's not.
It's
what
not
do you mean, why is it a
imagination.
prescription?
Yeah. Oh, do you have greater compassion for people?
This is not compassion. This is not
That's
compassion.
what
That's a
he.
different thing.
That's what he came for at the end.
Meat grinder
He-
over
at-
I
sympathy.
said
At
it
the
can
end,
lead to
he
greater
said because it leads to greater
and greater
compassion.
understanding.
Or do you have greater compassion?
It depends how you define compassion. I would say yes, but it depends what you
Yes?
mean by that. I guess
Like believing,
it depends.
believing
It
trans
depends.
people are actually females, or else they're gonna delete themselves.
No, I'm not saying that's compassion. I'm not saying that's
Oh,
compassion.
Oh, do you
this has just
have
gone off the
greater
rails.
compassion
You're
or
right.
not?
But that's the argument. That's a
Okay.
sympathetic
Can I?
argument.
I need to go. So can I please say something quick?
Okay, go ahead, Alex.
Okay. So empathy is not necessarily about some immediate utility you have with it. Okay.
Then why do I
So
need
it's
it?
hold on. I'm talking. This is my closing. Shut up.
I agree
We
with that.
studied this. We've seen people. We've seen
Oh, wait,
MRI
wait.
scans. People's mirror neurons
No, that's where
activate
I disagree.
to represent
So
the
sympathy.
emotion that someone else is experiencing
And that's
because
where I
they've experienced
disagree.
something similar.
You can never.
So
Just
sympathy.
let him finish. Let him
Go ahead.
finish. Okay.
Just let him finish and we can hit it.
We also know And I'm sure some of you have experienced this. When you see someone else get hit in the nuts, you suddenly have that sensation of pain yourself.
Blah blah blah. That's
Blah blah
Let
blah.
him finish. Let him
Yes,
finish.
This is part
Yes,
of a
duh.
psychological mechanism that helps us to understand each other and cooperate. Without it, we have a lot of problems that don't exist because it exists.
It doesn't do any of that.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Okay.
it actually does.
That's sympathize.
But
That's
sure,
simping.
whatever. You define whatever the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
you want to
we
define
only
in your
called
way,
it simping.
mister.
We only called
My
it simping
feelings
for
define
fucking 30
everything.
fucking years. Why are you simping for that hoe?
I'm not simping for anyone. Why are you simping?
Who's the hoe?
Oh my
And
God.
who's what's the
What is happening?
Gabe, check your chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
simps all up and out down your asshole. dude.
thank you, K2. Thank you so much.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
Thank you so much, K2.
But
All right.
linguistics aren't real.
K2 is a legend.
Any quick remarks before
Thank you so
I
much,
drop?
K2, by the way.
And that's what the left does. They manipulate the linguistics. Now,
Other than from
simping
Trench,
don't mean shit
'cause he
anymore.
doesn't
Actually,
know what he's
I'm an
saying.
asshole for even saying
Okay.
don't simp for them hoes.
Once
Here's
again,
the
if
issue,
you
though.
if you're talking about the sympathetic system, you're talking about sympathy. It has to
No,
do with
I'm talking
empathy.
No, that's not sympathy.
Shut
That's
up,
not
Trench.
sympathy.
It has nothing to
Trench
do with
argues.
It has absolutely nothing to do with empathy because you're talking about the
No,
sympathetic
that's
system
not
in the
sympathy.
brain, which
Sympathy
is using
requires
the
concern for
sympathetic
someone
nervous
else.
that you're
This is
trying
not
to figure.
concern.
They try to figure it
This
out what
is
the other
not
person is
concern. This
feeling,
is
but it's not
generating
trying to get you
internal
into their
states.
Wait,
framework.
hold on, guys.
It's not
Gentlemen,
trying to put
gentlemen.
into their
Simulates
fucking
someone
framework.
else's-
It doesn't simulate them. Okay, it's trying
Yes,
to
it does. It does
comprehend,
simulate
but
that.
it
That's the
doesn't
whole
mean that you're
point.
simulating their framework. Okay, that's empathy.
It's
Empathy is
not the
about the
framework. Who the
framework.
fuck's
It
talking
is
about
about the
framework?
framework.
It's
You
right there.
dumb.
No, it's not. Your life is
How is
about
it not?
fucking.
How
Oh my
about
God.
how about you have
If
some
you-
fucking empathy for me, you dumbass?
How-
Okay, the
how
whole
do
point of
you-
empathy is
I
wait,
have no empathy
I'm
for
not
you.
done. I know
You're
you
too stupid to
don't.
have empathy for
I
right
know you
now.
don't. I know you don't.
Listen
Thank
to
you.
it, though.
retarded.
Thank
Yeah,
you. You
you're
don't
talking
need
about
empathy.
something that's
You
completely
see how you don't
immaterial
need
to this.
empathy? You
You're
see?
jumping. You're
Thank
jumping
you.
to the
Thank you
fucking
for
like
proving my
nitpick
point.
level.
Thank you for proving my
Talking about
point,
something
Alexander.
that's
Thank you.
baseline and
Thank you.
simple.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you
Is
for
this
proving my point.
Ghostboxing?
Because
This
you don't
is
like the fact that it's just part of the human
Because
experience.
the only reason, because the only
I-
reason
And
why
if empathy doesn't exist, then we
the
don't have
only reason why
sociopaths,
empathy
right?
is used is to
There is
no
do
such
it
thing
as a
as a
cudgel over
sociopath
your
because
head,
empathy
so that
doesn't
these
exist.
fuckers,
Sociopath has
these
nothing
lefty
to do with
fuckers,
empathy.
these
Wait,
lefty
wait,
fuckers,
wait,
so that these
wait.
lefty
Terminology would you
fuckers can
use
go
for that
on
for
and
that
try to
system that
shame
shames
you
you for
into
being a
bullshit.
sociopath?
Yeah.
The only
Confluence, you
reason
can't
why
let
they
this
want to
happen.
do it is
But I
because they're
can't
trying to
Confluence,
do it
control
because
your
they're doing
panel.
it. Okay?
You know better than these throwing around these pseudo.
Hold on. To be fair, Abe, nobody
got
has
out 3
eviscerated.
words.
Nobody has
Hold on,
eviscerated.
French.
Hold on. Nobody's been the
Stay tuned.
greatest
Thanks for-
critic of
thanks for letting this
everybody.
guy
Hold
talk.
on.
You
Good job,
and of
dude.
Mo. Nobody's been a greater critic of empathy and
I
it being
wanted to
fake and
give the
gay
dopamine
than
hit.
Emmett.
I
Emmett
know
has
that.
been
You've
100%.
given us basically the inability to talk at all.
I know, but
That's
like,
pretty
don't
true.
shoot Emmett down
That's
when
a pretty
he's
good
actually
dopamine hit
cooking
for me.
because he fucking was nailing shit. And
He
was
wasn't
being
cooking
fucking real.
anything.
The only
He's
He
reason
cooked
I
my-
know.
he
it
cooked
is,
me.
you said that you
before.
didn't
I
have
was
empathy
getting
for
a
me.
third
Yeah.
level
Because you know what you
throw
don't-
a bunch of shit into the pot, and it makes nonsense that heals you for like
You
half
know-
a
he won't
fucking
even
heart.
admit that it's a
Do
real
you know? Do you know
That's
why?
cooking.
Okay,
Look.
you know why you don't have any empathy for me because you don't care. You don't give a fuck.
Chaos.
Okay,
Correct, I don't
the
give a
only
fuck about
reason
you,
why
that's right.
empathy is used is because you want people to use them as an
No.
emotional
No, it's
cudgel
not,
against
because I
them.
don't see you.
Since you don't give a
If I
shit,
saw
since
you or
you don't
knew
give a,
anything other
since
than
you
the
don't
fact that
give
you keep
any
pushing a
fucks
fucking
about
god
me,
into
since you
every
don't
little
give any
thing you
fucks
talk
about me
about,
because it
then
doesn't
maybe
because it
I'll be
doesn't
able to have
progress
some
your
empathy for
ideas
you, but I don't
politically.
actually know anything about you other than
Since
Mr.
it doesn't
Czechoslovakia and whatever the fuck
since it
you're-
doesn't
I
help
agree
your
with
ideas politically because it doesn't help you politically. That's
I
the
don't
only
give a-
reason
I
you
don't-
don't
I
give a
don't give a
fuck
shit
about
about
me.
politics.
There
You
you go.
think I can't have empathy
Exactly.
for
No,
Yeah,
anyone?
you do. You just lied.
You do
No,
care.
he lied. He
Okay,
cares.
you care.
Fuck.
You care. You fucker.
With regards to
yeah,
regards
you
to who I
do.
can have
You do care.
empathy
You want
for?
to go on ahead and have
You
all
wouldn't
these
be on
fucking
political
trannies be all this
debates
kind of
on
bullshit, and you
fucking
want to have this kind of
panels with
political
a bunch
BS.
of fucking
Okay.
personality disorders.
I'm sorry. What
And
did
you
you
did
just
give a
say?
fuck
I want to
about
go ahead and have
politics.
what?
You have a
Debates with a
voice.
bunch of
crazy motherfuckers about politics.
Oh my God,
if you
Trench,
didn't give a
can you
shit.
please just let him finish? If you say he's cooking, let him finish.
You with the facts, shut up. That's been the thesis all night. That's my thesis.
You don't have facts. You have a bunch of fucking opinions
All
that
I
you know nothing
have.
about.
I have
Empathy is
terrible
fake and
opinions.
gay. That's
I
the only
have
thing that
all of the
matters.
facts.
Oh my gosh. This got crazy so fast.
Yeah, it is.
That's been crazy 6 hours ago.
The only reason why empathy is used at any point in time in any kind of conversation is to go ahead and try to manipulate the other person emotionally, and then try to go on ahead and attack them in whatever their emotion is. It's not black pill. It's what it is.
This is where I diagnose.
Any other reason is about sympathy, and the sympathy is about trying to
blackmailing.
No, it's not. It's not.
Otherwise, you would be using sympathy, so you would try to understand what the other person feel, and you would try to not get into their mental state, but you would try to find a way to actually help whatever the fuck they're feeling. Yeah, you can ask the questions.
Okay. Is it possible to have some understanding of a person's emotional state or internal emotional state based on what you know about them?
No.
No.
No, you can know what general emotion they may be feeling. You cannot actually, like, this is such a crazy stance.
What do you, hold on.
I disagree with both.
Wait, he has three questions. What is the second question?
Yeah.
Okay, so then how can you have sympathy for someone if you have no capability of understanding what their emotional state is?
Because you don't need to understand their emotional state as in their statement framework to understand that they might be feeling X, Y, Z things in accordance to a logical statement. And in fact, and you have a sympathetic system.
Is that not an understanding of their emotional state? No,
it's not the same thing. We're talking about different things. And you have a sympathetic system which allows you to mirror certain emotions, but it doesn't mean that you feel the same thing that the other person is feeling. It just means that you have an understanding.
Sympathetic nervous system?
Yeah, you have a sympathetic nervous system.
I would concede ground.
Oh my God.
That empathy was once linguistically probably known as a perception. Perception.
So you have sympathy, you have access to sympathy, but you don't have access to empathy.
I
feel like we're talking past each other with what we mean by empathy.
No, we don't.
They don't want to use the word because it's too
because influence started off trying to describe how I felt
nervous system.
Whenever they
say let's all talk at once.
Nervous system.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Whenever
Brandon, so what
you
I
understand that, right?
Whenever they talk about the empathy,
do you know what the sympathetic nervous system is?
Yes, it allows you to.
What is it?
You have a specific part of your brain that allows you to look at.
The sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response.
When you're looking at people, it allows you to
not
mirror.
No, that is not it at all.
That is not. That's not what the sympathetic nervous system is.
When you
look. It does not.
Okay, then no, I don't. Apparently, because you guys know what I was gonna say. So go on. Say what I was going to say.
Anything you said other than fight or flight is wrong.
Just finish my phrase for me.
There's no amount of words you could have said after that would have fixed that.
Yeah, I know. Like, because you know what I was going to say. So go on.
Were you going to say fight or flight, Emmett? Were you going to say fight or flight?
No, I wasn't going to say fight or flight.
No, were you going to talk about that in any way?
No, I wasn't going to talk about fight or flight.
No, then you were wrong. Then you're wrong. End of story. There's no other definition.
I wasn't going to talk about fight or flight at all.
Wow.
There are other.
That's a pretty strong.
The nervous system is for.
The nervous system is just about fight or flight.
Has nothing to do with sympathy, though. Like that's just they happen to share.
Thank you, Halfwood.
He's talking about mirror neurons in the brain.
And see, none of these are my point.
But the fact that he's using the word that. He's using the term sympathetic nervous system to describe this tells me he knows absolutely nothing about human physiology. Jesus Christ.
What is the sympathetic nervous system according to you then? Go on.
What's that?
What is it?
What, the sympathetic nervous system?
Yes, what is it?
It's the part of the nervous system that engages fight or flight.
It's everything.
When
it's like
your pupils dilate, and when your breathing rate
like
increases your heart rate, your blood pressure, it gets you ready to run or attack something.
Your erection.
Not just.
No, the parasympathetic nervous system is the stuff that you don't have like autonomous control over.
The parasympathetic nervous system is like the antithesis of the sympathetic nervous system.
No,
it's a
antithesis.
It's a subcategory of.
But the stuff like the heart rate.
I'm sorry. When I say antithesis, I mean they work
in the Latin of the word para.
They work in opposite directions.
What does
the
para
parasympathetic
mean?
nervous system relaxes and calms.
I don't think they're okay. I could be
You're
wrong.
talking about
I mean,
rest and digest. It'd still be a linkage. They'd be.
I think I think the
Not just
parasympathetic,
rest and
from what I
digest, but
remember,
there's a lot of other things to do with it. Yeah.
one is controllable. One's like
Right.
it's a different. I don't think they're antipodal. One is
But
like
it's not just the
subconscious, and one is something you can
Okay.
actually like have some
The,
control over.
It's the bus.
No,
It's
no,
the
no. They're
now
bus.
look
both
it up.
fairly subconscious.
It's what
I don't
lets,
think you
it's
have much
what makes
control over
your
either of
turn
them,
signal flicker
except
faster
through
when
like
the bulb is burned out.
Oh my
like
gosh.
trying to
Because it's
activate
the
certain body
bus.
responses through meditation or changing your physiological changes to your
100% stand
breathing.
on that 10 toes in.
But this is all just you telling
What?
your body that it's okay now or that it's not okay now.
The parasympathetic is inside of the category of the sympathetic nervous system.
No,
it's not adjacent
it's
to.
not.
It's not
Not the part of the same
disassociated from.
system.
It's literally in the Latin, which is why the eggheads that came up with that terminology gave a similar Latin vernacular. Para
Two branches of the autonomic
together
nervous system.
with the sympathetic system.
Sympathetic
neuron system.
and the
You are
parasympathetic
Maybe with
are
my
part of the
subconscious thing, I'm thinking of
autonomic nervous
autonomic
system.
and the opposite.
Thank you.
They are
Kat.
absolutely
and the
not
auto
within
nervous
each other.
system is a part
No,
of
please look
your
this up before you
sympathetic
talk. Otherwise, I
nervous
can't hear a
system.
word you
Okay,
say
just
because
I
everything
want to
is
say
wrong.
clarity.
nervous
I was
system
thinking of the autonomic nervous
itself.
system and the
Yes.
somatic nervous
It's why
system.
when you
Okay,
feel
I got
the
something,
somatic nervous
confused
system
on
is
that
the one
one.
you have
why when
actual
you feel
control over.
something,
Yeah.
like
Happy
truly feel
Friday the
something,
13th,
whatever
guys.
that is that brings on stimulus,
Indeed.
there is a
I brought you
biological
Well, it's the
reaction
12th, but
You
because
did. You did,
of
K2. Well done.
the nervous
thank you,
system.
K2.
It's biological and
Thank
it's
you as well, K2.
metaphysical. And it sucks because it creates this kind of discourse.
No,
Okay,
it
but
doesn't.
beyond that,
People not
we're supposed to be talking about
people
empathy, and if it's
using
fake
Yes.
friend
terms
or
they
gay.
don't understand.
Empathy is a
this kind of
part
discourse.
Okay.
If we
of
could-
the sympathetic
was wrong,
system.
but
Everything's on meta
Okay,
here.
thank
at
you,
this
Emmett.
point.
I
But
was
that's the
wrong.
metaphysical aspect
I
of
was
it.
I was wrong.
I
You
think
have
what
to.
you're referring to is the
Well,
mirror
it's not
neuron.
meta.
Yes, I was
because
talking about the
people have been
mirror.
making
Yeah.
my
I was
argument
talking about
for
mirror
me,
neuron
and-
systems. You have to understand that
and
I
that's
know
not
this in
my-
Spanish,
that's a straw man
so
to my
I'm
position.
translating
Oh,
terminology.
that's right. The language shit.
disgusting.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
But,
no, it's
my
just that I don't
apologies.
view the methodology of that experiment as the smoking gun.
French. Just be quiet for a minute.
Yeah, you with the scientific shit.
So
Yeah,
And the
But
question
admitted
I would
earlier
ask
that
is what's
I-
everybody's.
earlier,
For a
in
second,
good
can
faith-
you just
in
shut
good
up?
faith- in good faith earlier, did
Let's-
I not
Can you
say
shut up
there
for
are
a
some,
minute,
there are
please?
some things in my own camp that I disagree with, and I called
I
this out.
disagree with everyone all
earlier.
the time. Okay,
So,
there's nothing
Yeah.
special
whatever.
about that. Congratulations.
Can I
Emmett,
just know
my
people's.
apologies for
But I'm
attacking
better-
you
but
on
I'm
that.
better
I
than you.
should remember
I'm
this is your second
establishing that.
language.
yeah, I'm
Field
just gonna say.
study.
I'm just gonna say that I know most of these from Spanish, so I might get terminology
Sure.
wrong.
Sure, and of course because the stupid sharing of the word
Very
sympathy
Latin
and
based.
sympathetic.
It's more Latin. English is only 25% Latin. So continue, please, Emmett.
That's not what he was saying, but sure.
I've had enough of this. I want to hear his interpretation with his Spanish.
No, I was actually yes.
important.
It's the mirror neuron system, and what it does
Yep.
is allows you to. It's kind of autonomous, but it's not necessarily 100% autonomous, and it regulates
Yep.
and it allows, for example, heart rates to mirror each other, and somehow it allows you to share a certain kind of emotions, especially hard emotions, with each other.
Yep.
But it doesn't
What's
mean
the
that you're
Oxford
feeling the
say?
same
But
kind.
it's-
It doesn't mean that
Hey,
you're feeling the
Trench,
same
what's the Latin
emotion.
mean?
It just
But-
means that
but
you are
Emmett,
happy.
even
Don't
then.
answer that.
Sympathy.
Don't answer
Sympathy
that.
means
Why do you debate
hold
it?
on.
Sympathy means
Just
to
to be
feel.
clear,
Oh my
just to be
gosh.
clear,
That
Even
means to
then,
this
feel.
is what
you're
I
still talking about a
I refer to
perceptual.
as
Like empathy
empathy.
is the Latin.
This is what I refer
empathy
to as
part
empathy. Your
is the
brain is
German.
able to
I hate you,
simulate the
Testy.
emotional
I
state
hate
of
you so
someone
much.
else to mirror
Who do
neurons.
you hate?
Is the
I-
German.
When
Yeah,
people talk about
that's
sympathy, what they're
comes from
talking about is
pathos,
like the
excuse
act of
me,
caring
to
or
feel.
Okay.
feeling
Pathos,
bad
to
about
feel.
someone.
I
Right, but let me
understand.
ask
Being
you.
able to understand that they're feeling that they're not
Something?
that they're
So,
feeling
Imp,
sad because
Patty,
of something.
to
Wait.
project
Some reason, something
feeling.
you see in them. That's
Wait,
a different
Because
thing.
it's
that's-
two different languages.
But your mirror neurons are only going to interpret
German
base.
and Latin.
They're not going to
But that's the
interpret
English
further, which means
language.
your perception
German
and,
and
your
Latin.
perceptual model has to do the rest of the work.
Yes, correct.
Blame
So
Shakespeare.
you're still talking imagined or perceived.
Yes, of course. No one is saying that
Okay.
you share their actual experience.
So then how? Well, it says to share in.
They don't.
The emotional.
Well, I actually
Nobody-
Yeah, see, I knew this was going to be a semantic
It
dispute.
breaks
Do you
down.
think
It
when they
literally.
say share
The origin of the
they
word,
mean
the
that you
origin of the word,
literally
and the
share
word used in
your
1908 when it was
subjective
coined in the United States of America. It was literally used exactly for that purpose and was used for that purpose all the way
It's
through
not
World War
wrong.
II. It did not, until
in
modern day,
psychology-
Can I ask
begin to
a
be
clar-
used for all kinds of other things.
Can I ask a
In
clarifying
psychology,
question?
all that it means
Yes,
is
Hey, hey,
people's
hey!
emotional
Brandon has
systems
a
are
question.
activating
Brandon
in
has a
similar
question.
ways. That's all it is.
I just want to ask Abe. So, like, when you think of empathy, do you think like when somebody says, "I have empathy for that person that got hit in the nuts"? Do you think they would disagree with you that they're not literally experiencing what they're experiencing?
We're
right?
talking about the empathy.
Do you think
It's a
anybody?
stupid
I
argument.
think they're experiencing a base mirror neuron response
Bandit,
and sympathy
I
for
sent
the
you a
action that
message.
they've
Could you
seen
please answer my
taken
message?
on someone else. They are not actually sharing
that's
in.
what-
But you're not
I don't
having
think that's
their
what Brandon
experience.
asked.
There's no shared.
Yeah, like nobody. I don't think anybody would disagree that you're not experiencing
my point.
literally what they're experiencing. I don't
So
think
my-
anybody would.
Right, Brandon. So my
disagree with
point
that.
is that
I
when
don't
you
think
use
that's
this
what the-
word
what the
empathy because it's so
clinical
broad, you
usage
can
of
fit
the
all
word
kinds of
means.
things into the basket rather than just saying, "Oh man, that sucks. I understand pain and I felt pain before." Not I've shared in your
So
pain
you
right
agree
now.
if somebody
No,
defines it that way? Hold on, you.
And I think the
Oh, we're almost
50s
there. We
clinical
are so
usage
close.
of the word
Yeah,
is
you
the
are.
We are
accurate
so
word,
close.
Finish up.
and it
Because-
I
mutated
wanna
to
say
what
one
Abe
last
turned
thing.
it
Because we all
into.
agree.
I see
Oh
where you're
God,
both
dude,
close.
please. We
Hey,
are so
This
close.
is yours to fix, man.
We
I'm
are
not
so
coming
close,
anymore.
right?
You can meet him.
So we all agree, right? We're not literally having the same experience as each other. They're like similar, they resemble each other, something like that. So we agree there. Now with the other definition where it is that like we are having similar experiences, we're not saying they're identical. Do we all agree? Like by that definition of empathy, we agree that happens, right?
Sorry,
We
so
all
you're
agree with
saying,
that?
say it
I
again
would.
one more time.
Sure. So we're not having identical experiences. Like if I say I'm empathizing with you, Abe, I'm not literally experiencing what you're experiencing. It's just similar. It resembles it. Do we agree if I define empathy in that way, that that does happen?
different.
I think that you could do that, but you're still using a simulacrum. And what happens is because
Is that a
you're
yes?
using this, I'm saying you could use it that way, but I don't think that it's true or real.
But it's not the imp side
Wait,
of the
you don't think it's real? So you
etymology. It's not
don't
the
think? Hold on,
feeling
hold on, dude.
It's-
God damn. So you you don't think we have similar
Don't answer
experiences?
my question.
You don't even think they can resemble each other? You don't think
I
that
think
happens?
you have a perceived similar experience.
What's the distinction?
Yes.
Your perception is not reality.
But
Yes.
but we do experience that, right? We have similar experiences to each other,
empathy
and that's
isn't
what somebody
real
means
and
by empathy,
authentic
right?
unless
That they
it
can
is
model somebody
correct.
else's mind and
100%
have a
of
similar
the
experience
time,
as that person.
if
That
you're
does
using
happen.
real
Hold on,
empathy,
Trench.
you
But they
to
could
be
have a
right.
perceived similar experience of anything. They could believe that getting kicked in the nuts feels like kissing their girlfriend. They could feel
that's
things
not
that you
empathize.
cannot
But that's not
predict.
how that
And so what
works.
happens?
Yes, that's
Wait a minute.
not how it works.
So you're saying people don't
You can't get
perceive?
kicked in the nuts. You
People,
can't get
that's
kicked
a
in the
very
nuts and
like
think
polar
that I'm
opposite of the
kissing my
situation,
girlfriend.
though.
That's
right?
my
Like,
point.
any
My
guy-
point is you can say you're perceiving anything, and you
But what was my
cannot
point?
say that
100%
there
of
is
the
a true
time,
connection
it has
in
to
the
be
perception.
correct in its predictor.
Somebody can have a
That's
wrong
it.
model of what somebody else has experienced. Like if they see somebody get hit in the nuts and they're like, "Oh, I bet that felt great." Maybe they can have like a wrong perception
That's
there.
all empathy
I think
But
that's the
if
wrong-
that's what they're
and there's
talking
no
about,
odds.
and we're not talking
There's
about
no
odds,
odds.
dude.
You can
Please, God,
tolerate-
you're just like in my
Why is-
ear.
what?
Please stop.
Because we're different
like,
too. We're
so
different too.
I
I'm
think
losing
I
my
have
train
to
of thought.
I have to distance
Brandon.
myself from the places where you are correct, from the places where you are.
Okay.
It's made it
Like you, I have to
impossible
stay linear. I can't with
to
that.
break it down.
Brandon, you have a correct idea in the framework, but the question is, can you have the correct framework? Is it possible that you can have the correct framework to articulately and correctly feel the same as the other person?
Yes, you can't use a methodology.
If what we mean by
Like
same
I
there, I
can.
think we would agree that we all, like if we see somebody get punched in the face, I think we all can empathize and imagine
Yeah.
us being punched in the face,
You
or
can have-
if we were
But they're
them
more
getting
fair.
punched in the face,
Right,
and
but
what that
this
would feel
come-
like.
Then what?
problem-
But then what?
Wait,
Hold on,
wait,
but
wait,
then
wait,
what?
Trench.
It's not
Wait, Trench.
identical.
Wait,
but
Trench.
It's a similar.
But the problem with this, Brandon, is this is an A, not A. Literally an A, not A issue.
Give that.
Okay, so we can say that I can understand what it's like to be punched in the face, and I can see you be punched in the face. It does not mean it is the same thing, and we did
I'm
not
not saying
feel
they're
the
identical.
same.
We
I
agree
know
on
that.
that.
I get that.
We agree
I get
on
that. So there's not a sharing in it.
But
We're not sharing.
what
at
do you
that
mean by
point.
sharing?
We're not sharing.
If not having a similar experience.
Feeling into with the trees, feeling into the
Same isn't similar. Similar and same are different.
Right. No, we already agree we're not having an identical experience, or it would just be that experience, right?
But you cannot have the same framework then, right? You cannot get into the framework of the other person. That's what I ask. Can you have the same framework? Because we're talking about the same. We're not talking about
the framework.
It's not going to be identical, right?
There you go. That's fake and gay.
No, we already established that. No one that
Because
says
it's
empathy,
very-
as Brandon was saying, no
Yeah,
one
I
that
think
says
that's what
empathy
anybody
means
would
that
say.
you're
Because you cannot have the same
truly
framework.
feeling exactly what they're feeling. No one is going to
Because
tell
you
you what empathy
cannot
means.
have the same framework, right?
Because you're basically just asking, can you be them? I don't think anybody like when
But you can put yourself into
when
someone
somebody
else's
says
shoes.
empathy, I've never
No, you
heard
can't.
somebody
No.
use empathy in that
How
way.
can you not?
You
That
cannot
doesn't
put
make any
yourself
sense.
into
If-
someone
okay,
else's
okay,
shoes.
hypothetically,
Are you them?
right?
Have you lived
That's
their
all
life?
we've
Have you had all their
metaphorically, though,
experiences?
Abe.
Have you?
Anytime anyone's ever
Hypothetically-
said empathy, they mean like metaphorically step into someone's shoes. They don't mean like, can you literally
Yes,
have
like
their
literally
same
feel what they
neurochemistry?
Okay,
Literally
great,
feel it.
great,
No one has ever
great.
meant
Be
that.
them, right?
Great. Then empathy is metaphorically real.
People
Okay,
think
cool.
there's a call
I'm
of
fine with
action
that.
associated with empathy.
Then that makes it clear that there is actually there is no disagreement happening. You guys are just using words differently. That's what I wanted to establish.
I don't think there's an actual.
So Abe, if one of your friend's mothers were to die, right? And like let's say hypothetically you haven't lost your mother, you can then though put yourself into the mindset of, damn, what if I lost my mom tomorrow? Fuck, how would I deal with that? You're feeling something similar to that person. It's not the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I could also wait. No, wait, stop. So let me put it to you this way. I could do that, and then I could be wrong about how it feels, and I could literally think I understand what they're feeling, but I'm completely wrong. And I could call that empathy, and I could take all the wrong actions and screw that person up because of it. And
How
then
can
what?
you screw that person up just by trying to put yourself in that?
Oh, you can't hurt somebody emotionally. You can't screw
How would you
them
hurt
up.
somebody emotionally if you're feeling empathy towards a person? That doesn't make sense.
Because you can't perceptually ever be wrong, right? Your perception
So we
couldn't
have a-
possibly
I'm not
be
saying that.
wrong.
Mute
not
trench
saying
10
that.
minutes. Hey, pause, super chat. Mirror neurons allow you to have a hard baseline for the feeling of another person. Your own experience colors the experience you feel. Shared experience is a reference to the approximation, not
like this.
literally. I'm
Exactly.
assuming that's where that ends.
Mirror
Trench, I'm setting a
neurons-
timer for you. Everyone speed run what we all mean by empathy in 10 minutes, okay?
Well, the point, if we go to it, and I asked you this at the beginning, is you said that you can imagine how to ride an elephant, and then I ask you, are you going to give any prescriptions to the people that actually ride
But
elephants of
that's
how
not
to ride an
empathy, though.
elephant?
That's not how empathy works.
Right, and
Thinking about how to ride a fucking elephant.
Oh, so now
Wait,
that's
no,
not
that's not
empathy.
empathy.
Good
Wait, let me-
one.
wait.
Great. This is amazing.
Well, hey, no, don't take a victory for what Avery's saying over what if you're asking me a question. Okay?
Yes.
So I wouldn't give, just like if someone's mom died. I feel like that because you've said this before that empathy can be arrogant. I understand
It
what
is
you
arrogant.
mean by that.
It's pure arrogance.
I don't think it's definitionally
It's
arrogant.
pure arrogance.
Let's let me finish.
I can actually understand what you feel.
Let me finish, though.
Confluence.
Let me finish. Yeah, to truly say, like, if let's say you said, "Oh, my mom died," and I like go into my mind palace and I fucking imagine that, and I'm like, you know what, Emmett? I totally, fully understand. I exactly know what you're feeling. Yeah, there is an arrogance in that, but just for me to do my best to imagine, like Avery said, like what happened if my mom died and how would I feel? Right? That's not arrogant. It's the only arrogance would come if I trick myself into thinking I'm truly feeling exactly what it would feel like to have my mom die. That's the arrogant part.
Confluence. So let me ask you a question then. Let's say that my mom died, and I tell you, "Hey, my mom died." Do you think I tell you my mom died because I want you to feel what I'm feeling?
I don't know if you. Well, I don't know what your motivation would be, but I think.
Do you think that is the best motivation? Do you think that's the motivation?
For you, like if you're wanting me to, I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing to think. I think the best thing for me to do though is to imagine what that would actually be like, right?
Really? That would be the best thing for you to do instead of instead of saying, hey, instead of crying into a corner, because that's probably what I would feel. Instead of doing that, be like, hey, I know you're going through a rough time. I'm sorry for your loss. Is there anything I can help you with? Do you think that would be way more, a better response than just get into my head and start crying because I'm sad in accordance to you?
There's something that happens, I think, like, and this isn't like a call out. This is just a thought I've had that just like everyone that thinks that like empathy is fake, they often end up being like very anti or very, very like unempathetic. And I think there's an obvious correlation there. Well, that shouldn't be an insult because if you don't think empathy is a real thing, that should be, if anything, I'm giving you a compliment.
Well, because the problem is that you see empathy as a virtue, and absent the virtue of empathy, somebody is flawed or wrong or bad. Because when you say somebody doesn't have empathy, you are saying they're bad. You're not saying anything but that person is bad when you say they don't have empathy. It is a virtue signal from the ground up, buddy.
That is where the substance of the conversation should go, right there.
Where does scientifically that empathy is real?
The fact that we've covered
where does sympathy go into the people who are saying that empathy is not having empathy is bad?
It looks like it's a 4-hour debate, so definitely 25%.
By saying no one made an argument.
Alex with the $10, who is back actually back from the dead. The approximation is going to be wrong, but that's true of every cognitive model we make of other people, intentions, beliefs, motivations. Error doesn't invalidate the mechanism.
Yep, except for they're not reading into people the same way. Sympathy is I feel something for you. Empathy is I feel it because you feel it. There's a whole different ballgame or realm here. Yes.
Okay, but that gets into the semantic thing. If I'm defining empathy as, I'm trying to imagine what it would be like if someone's mom died, and I'm trying to imagine. I don't ever have the arrogance of thinking I know exactly what that's going to feel like. I do think there is a virtue in doing that. I would say there is a virtue in doing that.
Imagine that.
Hold on, it's not a virtue.
Then why is it bad to not have it?
There's virtue in doing it, I think, is what I would say.
No. Empathy isn't something you have like a choice. You need to understand something or not.
No, see, I disagree with you, Alex.
Understand them how?
If Emmett tells me his mom died, I could just be like, "Oh, thoughts and prayers." I feel bad for you to do anything, or I could try to actually like understand him emotionally.
To someone is a choice. Being empathetic or being able to like understand what someone might be feeling in a given circumstance, it's not a choice. You can either do it or you can't.
What?
Oh, see, I disagree completely.
Oh my god!
Like, I can see like war footage. I can see war footage and kind of just like not and just kind of see it and not really think about it. Or I could imagine like, what if I was that guy that's like getting blown up, or what if I know someone who's getting blown up? Like, and that's a choice I have.
So, Campos, do you think that if somebody has the mental capacity to empathize with somebody, they can choose not to?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I do it all the time.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Well, like I said, with like war footage, like I can make the choice to just kind of see it and like maybe it makes me like feel a little icky on some level, but I can go the extra step of being like, what would it be like? And this is a volitional act that I can be like, what would it be like if that was like my family member? What would it be like if that's someone I knew? What if that was me?
Now you're intellectualizing it.
You're
intellectualizing it. Empathy is that first response.
I'm choosing to put myself intellectually into that situation so I can imagine what it would feel like.
But that's not what empathy is. Empathy is an emotion.
Ignore the autonomic part of the system that feeds you that information.
Empathy,
but it doesn't mean that it's not
Wait,
wait, you're saying
information is present,
hold on.
whether you
give me
want
one
it or
second.
not.
You're saying it. Wait, hold on. One
before.
sec, Lutch. 1 sec. Just give me this 1 second. So you just said it's an emotional response, but it's understanding. Okay. I just throw that out there because understanding is not. You said it's an emotional, the underpinnings of the autonomic part, and it's understanding.
No.
Who are you talking to?
It can give you.
You're talking to Alex?
Information to understand something. Feeling empathy on its own is useless. Doing something with it is something
okay,
different.
so it's gnosis. It's emotional gnosis. Okay, I get it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Gnosis. So we've been.
No.
No one is saying
Let's
that. We
nail
already
down.
That is what you just
Oh
said.
my fucking god.
Let's nail down whether or not we can choose to be empathetic, or if that is something that happens to you.
Good call, Lutch.
So
Good
Can
call.
you
this is why I'm
choose to
saying,
be
hold on.
empathetic, or is that
The reason why I'm
something that
saying-
happens to you? In
the
the
reason
same
why I'm
way
saying-
that, like being hungry,
Clockwise,
you
snakewise.
don't.
Good question, Lutch. Clockwise, snakewise. Trench is muted, but he'll probably be unmuted by the time we get to him. So, Brandon, yeah, can you choose to have empathy or to experience empathy, or is it something that's uncontrollable?
I think it's both. I think sometimes I'm not empathizing with somebody and then I choose to, and other times it just kind of happens to me.
I would
Based,
disagree. with
Emmett? Valid, but kind of gay.
Is
Kirk, if you're still there. I'm fighting words. Kirk might be gone. He's probably studying some neo-Keynesian economics or some gay shit. Dinkus.
So this is what I would say. I would say you have a personalized emotional response based on what you're seeing or feeling, and it has nothing to do with that person. It has to do with what you're perceiving. And I don't think that that's empathy. I think that's a personal response to the world around you. So,
All right. I'll allow it. K2?
I don't have an opinion on this. I'll wait till we get to another subject. That's my opinion.
I can empathize with you not having a position, and that's a volitional act of mine. Avery?
Jesus.
No, you don't.
I mean, I think empathy is the ability to put yourself in other shoes and in another person's shoes, and to try, at the very least, try to understand what the person is going through.
Wait, so the question is though, is it a
Oh,
choice?
shit, I thought
Can
you
you choose to have empathy, or is it just something that automatically happens? Is there any volitional
No.
component to it?
No, I think it's a biological process within our brains. I think you either have it or you don't.
Like, I'm not supposed to be cross talking, but just to be clear, so you don't think, I'm saying if you already have empathy, you have empathy, but can you choose to use that empathy or try to experience that, or is it just something that happens automatically or not?
What do you mean to use the empathy though? Like what do you
Like
mean
in
by
my
that?
example, if I saw war footage, that's how the start. If I saw war footage, I could just kind of see it, and maybe I feel a little bit bad, but I can be kind of disconnected, or I could really like try to imagine what it's like to be someone who knows that person who's dying in the war footage, and then there is a more experiential, emotional state that I could enter into by trying to put myself in that situation to the best of my imagination.
I don't understand what you're asking. Like, are you saying like can you switch it on or off?
Yes.
No, I don't believe you can.
Agree. Just like I mean, are you done?
Yeah, I think it's you,
Okay.
Lutch.
So yes, so empathy, much like any other emotion, state of being, like hunger is not something that you choose. It is an autonomic process of the brain. So when you hear about something, you don't get to choose. Ooh, I'm not going to be empathetic about this, or I am going to be empathetic about this. Being empathetic is an involuntary response that deals with your emotions. So no, it is not a choice.
That's fascinating because yeah. Okay. Alex.
So my understanding about it is that empathy comes in 3 different layers. The first one is absolutely not a choice. This is the automatic layer. It's like when you get tense when someone's really anxious around you, or when babies start crying because another baby is crying, or because when you wince because someone else gets severely hurt. These things you don't have a choice in that initial reaction. It happens before conscious thought. The second layer is where you have to show some amount of attention that you're paying to it. And this is where you have some amount of choice. If you decide to ignore it and just keep doing what you're doing, you won't go any further beyond that. If you decide to start paying attention, start listening on what they're saying, start looking at their facial features, start paying attention to what they're doing, or how they're responding to certain things, these things can all build a more powerful and more coherent approximation of what you think they're feeling. And then the third one is the choice you make about what to do about it. That's the one you're talking about, and that is definitely a choice. But the first one and part of the second layer, just they don't seem to be a choice for anyone. You either
and then,
have it or you don't.
And then Confluence, and then we'll go to Trench because he'll be unmuted. Yeah, I actually agree with Alex's framework, because I agree, that initial, and I think other people have said this as well, that the initial thing, I don't think, and so I don't know if we're all talking past each other or not. We'll hopefully get into that in the crosstalk section, but the initial reaction. So to use my own war footage example, right, there is going to be, if I see someone blown up, there is just a guttural response to that off the rip that I don't have any choice over. But then there's a secondary thing where it's like I can choose to like kind of engage with that further. I could just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like not really think about that. And but then there's the other option is a volitional act, I think, of empathy, where I'm trying to imagine what it must be like to be that person and to the best of my ability. So I guess, so in that sense, the initial reaction, I agree with, I think, the way Alex is talking about the stages, where it's like, there is that guttural reaction, which is just an autonomic thing. But then there's a volitional step you can take beyond that. That's my stance. Trench, you are unmuted. Trench is free. If he's there. And also Kirk, if he's back. Either of you. They might both be gone. In which case, crosstalk is enabled. Everyone spurk at the same time in the same way.
My phone's charging.
So, can anyone give an example of how you can choose this emotion?
Well, I gave it. What about my example that started this all off? The war footage thing. I see war footage. I feel like gross, kind of bad, but I can kind of just like kind of disconnect myself from it.
But that's a different question than the initial feeling. That's what I'm talking about. When you see that war footage, you don't have the choice
initial.
to be like,
sure,
yes.
But that's not. But I guess
he did just. That's automatic.
To be clear, just to be clear,
that.
you're talking about conflicts. You're talking about what you are doing with your empathy. I'm asking about the empathy in the first place. So, do you have the choice when you see that war footage to not care?
No, okay, so maybe I think we're still defining empathy differently, because I would say empathy is me imagining, like true empathy is me imagining what it's like to be in that circumstance. That's not an autonomic thing. That's not just something that happens. I see war footage and there is maybe some like cringe element, or you see someone get kicked in the nuts and there is maybe some guttural reaction of like, ooh, like on a very like baseline level. But there's that step further that I think that's what I think most people mean when they say to empathize with somebody. They're talking about that volitional action you're taking to imagine, hey, getting kicked in the nuts really sucks. That guy's probably like in pain, And I think we even see this.
You don't even need to use a painful example.
Can we find the difference between sympathy and empathy? Because I think what you just said was sympathy.
No, because sympathy I think is feeling some degree of like bad, or like some level of like, hey, this is like I'm trying to like show compassion here.
So you didn't get kicked in the nuts.
Empathy is trying to imagine. This is at least the definition I'm working with. You're trying to imagine what it's like to be in that situation.
Okay, so can you differentiate
into that?
Can you differentiate between sympathizing with somebody who's been kicked in the balls and empathizing with somebody who's been kicked in the balls?
Yeah, sympathizing. If I see if Emmett's like, hey, I got kicked in the balls, I'm like, oh man.
If Emmett's still here, we did a psychological experiment of this. I call it the little girl experiment on her tricycle, and how it ended.
Empathy.
Versus, but I think the
way he thought it was going to end were two different.
A guttural, I guess, feeling bad, or just giving like a kind of a basic like, this is something I have compassion because Emmett's been kicking the balls, and he's saying it's painful, and so I'm like I have sympathy because it's painful. The extra empathetic step, I think, would me being like.
So
thinking, what's it like? I've been kicked in the balls before. Emmett's kicked in the balls. What's that like?
Do we have compassion?
Can I help?
I don't think it's fair if Emmett explains my experiment or you.
I want to know if we ought to have compassion.
Hold on.
Sometimes
it's
what or who?
We should have compassion. That has nothing to do with my point.
Can I please delineate empathy and sympathy just for a minute?
Holy shit. Yes, I think that's a good idea. Go ahead.
Okay. So somebody can be empathic but be incapable of sympathy. All right. This would be like Yes, this
Is
would be something
empathic
like
different than empathetic?
That's one of the rare agreements.
Yeah,
I'll
so
grant.
hold on, just hold on, okay?
This is
There's certain versions of there's certain people who have really strong in the dark triad, whatever you want to call it. There's certain psychopaths with a very strong cognitive empathy. They can understand exactly how someone feels, but they don't feel any concern for them at
I can
all.
describe to you how the next 15 minutes is going to go.
exactly.
Yeah. There's people who have sympathy without empathy. Often, it's when you hear, like, let's say you hear about an earthquake in another country. You can feel bad for the victims, but you don't actually simulate the experience they're going through.
This is exactly why I call it
the,
woo woo.
the weaponized empathy.
How's that
just
woo-woo?
like
No,
You guys
no,
think
the first-
imagination is
sympathy
woo-woo.
without
No,
empathy.
Which
no,
is like
the
what
first
you're feeling
wait.
to.
Confluence.
Oh my
Go
God.
back to what he initially said.
One day,
He said there
one
are
day
some
we'll have this
people
debate.
that have a greater level of understanding. People who walk around calling themselves empaths, how they can understand people when they walk into a
He
room.
didn't say empaths. Okay, empath.
He-
empath is a bit woo woo.
He said empathic.
Empathic.
He
is
did
not
not
the
say
same as an
empathetic.
empath.
He did not say empathetic. He
I
said
don't think-
empathic.
I don't think Alex
I don't-
meant to invoke the concept of empath.
No, there's no one
that
who's
you
a
can
fucking
like
empath that can
telepathically.
actually
That's
feel
why I
someone
asked.
else's feelings.
No, I
That's fucking
actually don't think
ridiculous.
that empaths exist, but disregard
Well,
that part.
you're woo woo.
Because I
so
am
that's
a little
fine.
woo woo. Okay.
No, I have never, will
Darkness!
never accept that there's a fucking person who can actually feel what I'm feeling at any given time.
I think they
You
can
may be able
sense
to
it though.
approximate my emotions. You
In a woo-woo
cannot
way.
experience my emotions.
Deception and theatricality.
Yes.
Yeah, because of the example I was going to give earlier, because you don't need to give a pain example for empathy. You could see somebody surfboarding and try to model their mind as they're surfboarding. Like, what are
Well,
they
we
experiencing?
are
How do they feel?
initiated.
Like,
This
you
is why
can
I
do
gave
that. You can
the example
choose.
of
I think you
riding
can
an
choose
elephant.
something.
and I can be a woman,
Right.
right? I can model
But
that
Emmett
how
said
woman,
he
right?
can't imagine what it's like to ride an elephant, which is why I think that's crazy. Because I can definitely imagine it's not going to be the same.
Wait,
But I can definitely.
so- but I
I've ridden
can
a horse
ridden an
before.
elephant.
I know an
Well,
elephant.
Why
hold on,
does
hold on.
riding
So
an
I can
elephant
make an
have to
elephant.
invoke
Hold on,
an
hold on.
emotion?
what are the
So-
connotations to empathy,
If
though?
you've never ridden on
Why does
anything
riding
before in
an-
your life,
an
not a
elephant
horse,
have
not
an
a land,
emotion
not
attached?
anything, if you've never
Yeah,
seen somebody riding,
exactly.
So
Could
I
you
can
imagine
I
when
can
somebody
look to a
is
drunk.
woman.
I need to
riding
go to
elephants?
bed, guys. I'm sorry. I'm drunk. I
That's
have to go
my
to
whole
bed. I love
point.
you all.
Abe.
Have a good
Feel
night,
better, Lutch.
Lutch.
Sevens,
Take care,
Lutch.
buddy.
Confluence.
That's
Alex,
like
yeah,
where
I
I
heard
would
your
like
question.
to
Yes,
have the good.
I think
Wait.
the more
argument.
you know about the experience, like let's say you've only let's
Bye,
say
Abe,
if
Jesus.
you've ridden on a horse, then yes, you can
Bye,
better
Abe.
empathize what it's like to ride a different animal. If you've never ridden on anything, if you don't have a concept of riding, if you're in like a Mary's room situation, then yeah, your ability to empathize is going to be very limited. So like if someone who's been through, let's
So
say, a
what's my thesis?
genocide, I have very little
So when you
idea of what that's
say,
even like. So I
hold
can
on.
try, but it's going to be like kind of
Hold
a
on.
weak empathy that's not
So-
not approximating
But
it super
empathy,
well.
When you
empathy
say-
has
So I
to
can
be
look at a woman and I can be a
100%
woman because I can
say-
have the same framework, right?
when you say you're
Yeah, if you want to straw man
empathizing,
it, sure,
how
Emmett.
someone
I'm asking.
feel-
It's a question, not a straw man. I'm asking.
hold on, you can't empathize what
What's-
it feels like to
Well,
ride.
hold
an
on.
elephant.
I'd like to hear
Gosh.
that again. What was that, Emmett?
So I have at least I've seen a woman in the past. Okay, so the fact that
Something
I
about the
have
woman.
experience with a woman in the past because I talked to them, that means that I can go into the framework. So I have access to their framework, so I can be a woman, right?
No,
you can make predictors.
Why not? I can get into the framework.
you have
That's not
access
my
to a
point.
certain layer of a framework. You don't have access to the whole framework.
But you can understand how they feel, right?
Yeah.
No. You can
What do you mean
approximate what they
no?
feel.
If you have you don't have empathy, Alex?
You can approximate what they feel, and you can derive an
No,
understanding.
it's not even a
Then
practice. It's
go.
like
I can use
it has
approximate
to
it
do
to
with-
the point that I
You guys-
it
you guys
reaches
are-
them,
you
right?
You guys are
Well,
like
it's only
blending
counts
and
in
merging
horseshoes
this
and
shit
hand
into all
grenades.
these weird.
no,
fucking
no,
Nobody's
no,
gonna
no.
hear anything you guys are
that
trying to
have
But so
say.
do
nothing
you
to do with
guys.
the actual
But so do
empathy.
you guys.
Like you guys are all talking at the same time.
The whole problem
Say
is
both
that
That
can't.
is true.
I
That
could
is
cut.
true.
I could cut to the inception of the usage and the definition
I
and
don't
show
care
where
about
and
that.
why and how. Okay. If we've been using it similarly
Quiet.
since
Finish
its
what you were going to
inception,
say, Abe.
if we've been using it similarly its entire inception and it's been utilized specifically for certain things and continued to propagate in those things, and then common parlance picked it up and started using it for their own things,
I wanted to know what you were going to say.
that doesn't
though. You were,
mean
like, onto something like before he interrupted you, like I am doing. I'm sorry for that.
It's hard for me to remember
Like
where I was going. I look. The
You said
thing is, there's.
you can.
Oh, you can track it from its inception
Yes.
and see the utilization of the word and the purpose of the word. And you say you don't care. I understand you may not care, but if we continually track it from that time forward, you'll see there's an actual case usage for the word that is not real and not good. And then we've picked it up in popular culture and used it completely separately, and then act like it's a real, true thing, but then it's still weaponized constantly as a concept, not as a reality.
So hold on. I can actually agree with you on all of that, but it still doesn't change
I love it
the
when we
reason
fucking
why
land
I
planes.
argue on this. The reason I argue on this is because empathy, whatever word, whatever definition, whatever
Perception. Would anybody use that with empathy? Perception, like in Fallout.
No,
The
empathy is
perception
a
goes up.
reaction. Empathy is the reaction
Okay,
from
see,
sympathy.
I categorically disagree with that. Mine is more
Like I don't believe in. To me, I like honestly, like I don't believe in empathy, but I believe it's the reaction through sympathy, basically.
Voltaire,
in
you're
these
gonna
people's
disagree
lives.
with
You're gay as well, Voltaire. So disappointing,
because you're a
man.
contrarian
Well,
fucking
to be
douchebag.
No. I mean, like,
No, I can't take
I mean,
anything like
I guess it's
I can
the
have a
false.
disagreement
Hold on. It's
and
the, I
debate
guess
with
it's the
Abe
false
in good faith.
understanding. It's the false understanding that you can actually
Not you.
understand what these people are feeling at a time. So to me, it's a through their false
But
understanding.
100% of the time, when you're empathizing, you have to be correct. There's no sort of credit in the
Wait,
situation.
why is that? Who stated that?
Because otherwise, how are you sharing?
I do have a question about
well,
me
yeah, I
being,
guess,
being
yeah.
able to be a woman and get into the
Thank
state
you,
of a
Abe,
woman.
for
Why can't I
fucking
get into
keeping
the
up.
state of a woman if I have empathy?
So hold on. If I can finish
I
really quick
argue
before
that
I
this
go,
was actually a
because I do have to
masculine
go
thing
now.
first.
Hey,
before
Trent,
women
let
took
Alex
over the
say
universe.
finish.
And so I understand Emmett's position 100%.
Trench, are you Alex?
So
He's
no, but I'm
empathizing
tired
with
of
him.
having debates through simpleton.
Yeah, Grandpa
when
wasn't here, but
really
he's in
they're
right
trying
now.
to
Let
fucking
Alex
challenge my
talk.
position.
Let Alex talk, please.
But I'm tired of people defending my position.
I really don't think he's
With
here
I
right
don't
now.
care what you're tired of.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even
Well, yeah,
empathize
man,
with you
just-
being tired. Okay,
Just make your argument, man.
It's a
Don't get all
volitional
out
act, and I'm
of bent
choosing
out of
not to.
fucking shape.
So
Alex, go ahead.
I've been very
what I'm trying to
upfront
say,
about
Abe,
it.
is
Thank
that
you.
whatever
Abe.
whatever the initial intent is, whatever people try and use it as, it still refers to something that's real, something that's measurable, something that we
No.
can actually
Empathy
see.
is measurable. What are you
Let me
talking about?
finish.
Yes.
Let me finish.
Yes.
No, because you're just saying stupid shit. If that's the
It is
entirety of your
absolutely
argument, what does it
measurable. We
matter?
can see
That's
it on
like your
MRI
opinion,
scan.
bro.
You can
my
see
God, we can
movement
see it.
and
Yeah,
action
we
in the
can do that
brain.
through sympathy.
We can see that when someone
It's not in the
experiences
brain. They can't
something
measure it
in front of
biologically.
you,
It's a
the
questionnaire.
same part of your
Clinically
brain
and
that's experienced this
methodologically.
before
The
activates
methodology.
and gives you
The
those same
methodology of
emotions,
brain science.
regardless of the fact that you're not the one
Whoa,
experiencing
Voltaire.
it. Yes, we can see this in
Voltaire,
MRI
your mic.
scans.
Well,
So-
you're abing. Calm down.
So the
This is-
question
This
becomes,
is literally what they call mirror
Alex,
neurons.
right? I get it. We have confirmed that mirror neurons do have a reaction. My question to you would be: is there a way to isolate and
In
tell that it's
women-
exactly that, or is it possible that we're seeing multivariant things happen within the brain and we're not sure?
So,
Like, for instance,
not
if
in the
somebody's feeling
brain.
empathy,
It's
does
not
it
in the
show the
brain.
same? Does it show the same thing in
Brain.
SPEC scans?
So the way they've done it is they will let's say they'll, while you're in an MRI, they will poke you. You'll have the pain
They'll use
response
an MRI.
and an emotional response,
Mm.
and then later
That's not
they'll
how
let
it works.
you.
That's not-
They'll have you watch someone else get poked, and they can see the same emotional parts of the brain
He's
turn
describing
on.
the skin.
Okay. Right.
Can I add
That's
something?
that's
It
mirror
basically
neurons.
gives you some
Right.
semblance of understanding of what they're feeling, but you don't actually feel what they're feeling.
That's
Obviously,
in the brain. They don't know where anything's stored in the brain. They don't have a fucking clue. The only thing they don't even know what emotion you're feeling. The only thing they know is you're having a biological response for sympathy. That's it.
Yeah, it's not sympathy. Sympathy means
But
you
nobody's
care.
read the methodology.
I don't have to
Nobody's
care
read the
about somebody
methodology.
Sympathy
And I'm
means
not
that
going
you
to
care.
empathize
Empathy
with
means
what
that
they're
you can
feeling.
imagine.
The question is, can
How
any of
are
us actually feel what somebody else is feeling?
You don't
Well, Terry,
actually
you
feel
joined.
it.
Well, Terry, you joined late, so this has already been clarified. So, but I'll say it. So, no
Yeah,
one when you're saying
sorry.
empathy,
Sorry.
it's not your fault. No one when you're saying empathy means that you can literally actually be the other
Okay,
person.
okay,
of
so
all their
okay.
standard requirements. So it's
Okay,
we're
go on.
trying
So
to.
we're just going to negate that
imagining-
understanding of empath. Okay.
Well, we're not talking
imagining.
about empaths. We're not talking about empaths. We're not talking about empaths. To be clear.
1950s clinical
This is like
definition
this
that
is
I
like
ascribe
Wu.
to
Hold on. I just want to know. Hold on. I just want to know what I missed. You guys are all talking at the same time again.
It is being weaponized because Abe is also correct in its
Yes,
weaponization.
people have been absolutely weaponizing empathy as a way to force people to shut up or to force them to either
Yes, I agree
acquiesce
with
or look
Abe.
bad.
But
Yes, I agree.
It's
That's
also
absolutely happened.
what's it called? A
It
word
doesn't mean that
concept
empathy
fallacy
isn't real, though.
because they're
That's a
not
fucking
using
dumbass thing to go with.
empathy. What they're doing is they're using these
Concept.
sympathetic
The concept of empathy.
simping. We used
Well, it's
to
the
have a
that's
word
what
for
that's
it
the whole problem with
linguistically.
virtue. Sorry, go ahead.
Quit
My bad,
simping for
my bad.
that hoe. We used to do it. We used to say it all the time before the
That's
women's
not-
got the
people aren't being
universities,
empathic
and then
when they
found an
simp.
interesting phenomena, and then weaponized it from themselves. Because maybe
Well,
some of the eggheads that took the Kabbalah and turned it into psychology
Based red pills.
were onto
Well-
a little bit of something, which is why Kabbalah is heresy for Bowden.
Oh, where's Maryland?
Can we-
I got a question.
Can we throw this out real quick? Let's just codify something really quick, okay? So empathy's inception came from empathia, which meant something different in its origin. That's fine. I understand that we do that with language. It meant
But it came from sympathia,
meant-
though, as its root. And they
Right.
used the word perception. They used
Right.
perceive. They used
And
they had
so-
a word for it. It was perception.
And so the original word of empathia was meant to be caught up in the emotional response of another. So like rage, like anger, and it was frowned upon
Yes,
by
and
the
they
Greeks
used
and the
word-
Romans.
They used the word sympathy.
They saw it as a
And they
social
specifically
contagion.
used the word-
They
Okay,
saw it as a
sure.
social contagion. And so what happens is in 1908, you see a
female
man
trait.
in a college bring back the word empathia, and he coins it as empathy. And he uses that
No,
to
but
say
this
that
is where we
humans can
break down
cast
the
their
A
wait, just wait. That people can cast their
Because that's not
emotional
my
state into art. They can feel the art, and the art can feel into them. These are parts of how it
That's
started. Then it was
disingenuous.
grabbed. Then it was grabbed up. Then it was grabbed up by the suffrage movement and said that we could feel the emotional state of the women who had suffered under the hands of men, and that they needed their liberation, and that we had to empathize with them. We had to be in the struggle with them. We had to be in their state with them. And it has been utilized that way repeatedly ever since, and seen as a virtue. And absent any empathy for a situation, even if you disagree with the situation, has been seen as a slight against society. And
makes
that is
sense,
how
yeah.
it has trended forward since its
makes
inception
sense.
to now. It is still used
But
as
I-
a
and the
conceptual
breakdown-
weapon.
I think
Makes
the
sense to
breakdown
me.
happened, and honestly, if I was to give it a day, and me and my 12 different AIs have argued about this, and we're still arguing about it. But we got it zeroed around like 1994-ish is when, it was before the institution of psychology was taken over by women, but at the point when like the ideological battle for I guess for lack of a better word, and I hate saying this just because it's too simple, but the weaponization of empathy. Like
You and your
then-
12 AIs have narrowed that down to in the 90s.
Yeah. 94.
Okay, if I have
You don't
access,
think women have taken over psychology like way like decades?
No,
decades before
that.
And it doesn't. They don't physically overtake the institution till like 2008 ish, and then you see more women becoming psychologists.
So,
and then you start
Wait,
seeing.
but then how did
YouTube
they take it
phenomena
over if
of,
they're
like,
not going
life coach-
to? Sorry,
of like
yeah,
life coaches,
doesn't
and
make
then
any
you
sense.
start seeing the weaponization of the word like narcissist, which is
How
completely
come women take
divorced
over
from
psychology 8
clinical.
years before they even, or fucking 10 years before they
See,
even
this
took
is
over
why I hate you
psychology?
so much, Voltaire.
Psychology's been
Why?
gay for at least like 70 years,
So,
Trench.
hold on.
Like
Why
at
do-
least
why do you hate me so
70
much?
years.
No,
Go ahead.
dude,
Go ahead. Hold on.
70
Give him
years
time
ago,
to tell me
psychology
what
I
he
gotta
was
thinks
at
so
go.
its
much.
most
translation from
I would have to go, but I would
it was
like to
like at
ask.
its most
I would
basic.
like That's to the ask German root.
At
Confluence a
70
couple of
years ago,
questions.
yeah,
it
which
understood
means like feeling
that
into,
women
not
were fucking creatures
Feeling
of
rely in
into.
emotion.
fucking sympathy,
Feeling
and that they were
into.
like they behaved like children. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
I think they
wish we
use it
had
as like an
psychology
aesthetic
at
type
7
thing,
fucking years
didn't
ago.
they?
Confluence, will
It
you
believes
grant me a
in
couple of
God.
questions? I
Why
gotta
am I
go.
hated so
God is a
much?
fucking
I'm just
a
saying.
moral
Quiet, Emmett, I'm
standard.
gonna
I don't
try
know
turning
that
you up.
it's. I don't know that
Oh,
it's.
I don't
And
know why
this
I'm
is why I hate
quiet.
the postmodernist version of the world where we can't use classic definitions. We can't use classic definitions of fascism. We can't use classic definitions of empathy.
No, exactly.
We can't use
Exactly.
classic definitions of sympathy. And this is all a part of the Maoist Big Five
Everything's
strategy. Old
proprietary
words
now.
and
Well,
slow
you can
norms,
change the definition and
old
hold
culture.
its
It
fucking
can't be
value,
proprietary.
then
Definitions
they
mean
can do whatever they
definitions
want.
refer to something
Can you hear me now?
Language
And a
is
woman
like
is no longer a
descriptive, though,
fucking
in a
woman.
way, right? And even Abe, right, acknowledged this, right? That
Yes.
that how empathy was used at the beginning isn't necessarily the etymological roots. It's not necessarily how it's used now.
And I'm
right?
stuck in the
That's what I was.
80s.
That's where I was trying to
Between
go. Yeah, because it's like
1985 and fucking
all definitions have been
1998.
changed
That's where
so
I
that
am.
it fits their narrative, but it holds the same power as it used to.
But that's not. You're making it seem like it's some evil thing, Voltaire. But like that is also just like a natural thing that happens.
No, I understand. Okay, yeah, but it's two different things. We're talking about two different things, though. Obviously, there's a place that it's is natural, right? But this is not natural. They're actually forcing
that
upon
is a
this.
fascist fucking America. It's actually
Can we not Confluence?
Trent,
I,
shut
I
up.
think what happens is you all acknowledge that empathy can be weaponized. I agree with that, but just because something can be weaponized, we shouldn't like throw out the baby with the fucking bathwater, right? Like empathy can be used as a weapon, but that doesn't
Right.
follow that all empathy is a
What
weapon.
the problem I have, Confluence,
Hello?
is it's a conglomeration of emotions and reactions that they have placed under one hood and then used as a virtue for people. You could say I'm understanding. You could say I'm caring. You could say I understand. What is empathy? It is supposedly this conglomeration of all the good things that have to do with your emotional state for other people, and then you carry that around like it's some magic power.
That's not my definition, and I
It
pulled
is,
even
though.
from
So you
pulled
guys
from
don't
a
understand
basic
the
dictionary
primordial
definition
truth.
last
Hold on. Let fucking Confluence answer. Hold on. This was directed toward Confluence. This was directed towards Confluence. This was directed towards Confluence. Like I don't understand. Like I'm trying to. I want to know Confluence's answer.
What the fuck is going on with my?
I think it's like that my definition, which again is one of the like Merriam-Webster's definition, so it's not like I'm not using some like esoteric definition, right? Is not some weird hodgepodge, right? It's just the simple act of like trying to imagine what it's like to be in someone else's experience, right? And so I don't think that's not throwing everything under one umbrella. It's just like doing your best to imagine
there
what
an
it's like to
odd?
be in someone else's position, right? It's just, and maybe your
Is there
imagination
not?
is wrong, maybe it's inaccurate, it's obviously always going to be incomplete, but I don't think that's the amorphous
Is there
thing
an
that
odd?
you were talking about, Abe, and maybe some people mean it that way.
Confluence. Is there
But
an
imagine-
odd? Should you
What?
with that?
Imagining yourself in
with that
somebody else's
knowledge
shoes, is that
or the
real or is that
feeling
imagined?
or whatever
That's
you're
imagined,
doing?
of course.
Is there an
It's
odd?
all
It's
imagined.
imagined.
It's obviously imagined.
Definitionally,
Yes.
it's imagined.
How do you
It's
relate
happening
It's
in
literally
your
all
Is
mind.
there a
in your
duty?
head.
Is there an
no,
imperative?
there's no like external connection between you and someone else that
This
allows
is
you
my
to feel.
problem with the
and no
linguistic
one-
war.
Shut up, Trench.
Hey, Confluence, I got a question.
I guess I don't get to ask him.
It's why I think it's sympathy, not empathy, because sympathy you can imagine they're fucking. You give them sympathy through
sympathy
the imagined
is the
feeling
emotions
of
that
them.
you feel. Sympathy are the emotions that you feel. Empathy is the
Yeah, where are
act of
those emotions
imagining that you're
coming
putting
from?
yourself.
Sympathy is what you feel for others, but
We
it's
don't
your
even know
feelings.
the
Yes,
emotions.
exactly.
You
So-
can't know somebody's emotion. All we know is
Can I
that
ask-
there
We
is
know
a
that.
That's why you feel
We
sympathy.
went over
That's why you
that
feel
Trench, if you
sympathy.
Think about it.
Hey,
We
can
went
I
over
ask
that
you a
hour
question?
Trench.
Confluence,
You're not
can I ask
feeling
you-
it. You're
I'm about to
imagining what it's
leave.
like to be in their position.
I'm
Emmett's
about to leave.
Imagining
I'm
is
about to
imagining,
leave.
but imagining is not what empathy
Let Emmett
is.
get the close.
Okay, well, let
Emmett
Emmett,
get the close.
Emmett says he has to go, so
I'm
let's hear
about
from
to
Emmett.
leave. I have a couple of questions for you. So I really would like to know, okay, if I have access to the mental state of a person I have empathy with, so I can just get into the mental state of a woman, right?
You can't.
No,
get
you
into
don't.
it. You, can
You
observe
don't
the
have.
patterns.
You're wrong off the rip. You don't have. Nothing I've said.
There's an
makes-
intelligence
would
curve
say
for
that you
Wait,
have
wait,
the
wait, wait, wait.
access to the
That's the
mental
fucked
state
up
of
part.
being a woman. You don't have
If-
access to the
Wait,
mental
wait.
state.
I have a
people
question.
can't
I have a
empathize.
question. I'm not done. I'm done with questions. So if a woman tells me I gave birth, I cannot have empathy for that bitch, right?
It would be, yeah, it would be like I said with when Alex was asking, like if you had never ridden a horse, how could you know it's like to ride an elephant? Yeah, it's like it would be, you could maybe try, but it's gonna be the more you've
Is
the
it
more
sympathy
you've
or
been in
empathy?
the more you've been in an experience, the better you would be able to empathize under my definition, right? Of like
Well,
you're
I have
imagining
a-
being in
I-
someone's
I've
situation. So for
So
me
the
to
more
imagine
times
giving
Emmett
birth-
has a baby,
Wait. No.
well, yeah, if he's had a
Wait.
baby before, absolutely, he could empathize
Or
way
watch
better
baby
with someone
videos
who's
or
had a
read baby books
Bro.
or read
Hold on,
journals
hold
of
on.
women
I'm
that
not
had babies.
done.
Guys, let Emmett finish.
Confluence.
yeah, my bad.
Wait, I've talked to women before. I have experience being around women. I have a mom. Why wouldn't I be able to just get
Everybody has
into
a
the?
mom.
Would I?
We've
Well,
never
I don't
raised
know.
kids.
Some people don't. Some people just don't. Or act
Some
like
people
they
have two
don't.
dads.
So the point
I didn't
is,
have a dad. Some people don't have
Confluence.
fucking a mom, dude.
We're letting Emmett has to go. Okay, too.
the
So we're
point
letting
is,
him.
I have experience with this. Let's say that I have. I'm not. It's not an elephant, but I've been around a lot of horses. So why wouldn't I be able to just get into the mental state of a woman and have the empathy for them?
Because the closer you can, the whole point of empathy is that you're using your own experiences to imagine what it's like to be inside of them. So to be
So I can just imagine. Why can't I imagine to be inside of a
It's
woman?
definitely imagine. That's
Hold
what it is.
on. No, it's my
So
bad.
if you-
Go ahead,
so
Emmett.
you've
Go
never-
ahead.
You've never had, if you're not a woman
the
and you've
end
never had a
process of
baby,
feeling
it's
it.
very
Hold
hard
on.
to
Let's
put yourself in
wait.
that position.
I didn't mean to.
There's
I
men
didn't mean to fucking
actually
interrupt,
develop
but
a belly
confluence.
and have
Continue
go
and
through all
insult
the
Emmett.
same shit of pregnancy.
Wait, as the
Because-
empath that I am now, since I've been enlightened by
Stop confusing empath with empathy. Stop doing that. I know you're maybe joking, but like just stop if you're
It's
trying
the
to
root word. Holy fuck, it's the root word.
No, empath is
They
something
call-
totally different, Voltaire.
The only time anyone uses the word empath as a
Because
real
empath
fucking
sounds
thing
gay
is when they're
before women
talking
got
about
a
a
hold
dark empath from the fucking
I'm so
dark
happy
triad.
that I'm
okay?
just walking them to
Yes,
the trans
yes.
argument.
That's why you
Don't
hate it,
confuse
and that's why
empath with
you-
empathy, so I can't argue that
Because you
empathy is
because
different
you
from
got
sympathy.
beat to death
Oh,
with this shit after women took over the
Empath is a
psychological
different
field.
concept, Voltaire.
As a
If we use the word empath,
in
that ties into like the
2008,
woo-woo
and we
stuff.
lost
It's
the
a
battle of
different
it.
thing.
explain empath and then explain the
1994.
definition of empathy.
As the super
Because
Empath
before
is
then-
thinking that empath would be more like the straw man that a lot
Yeah,
of people
I blame
use,
actually
where it's
Generation
like
X.
you're claiming that you can actually like sense and feel what
Generation
someone else
X
and
fucked
really feel what
everything
they're
up,
thinking.
being
That's
a
like an
nomad
empath. It's like a spiritual
Yeah.
thing that people think when people are like, I'm an
Empathy.
empath.
Empathy.
As
I
the
know.
super
I'm just
empathetic
saying, if we're
person.
saying empath, that's an incredibly different thing from empathy. I know they sound the same.
It's
I know
incredibly
it's only one
different.
letter off.
It's
I know it's only
incredibly
one letter
different.
off. It's just like you ever see that astrology and astronomy are so close, but they mean like
Really,
utterly
you
different
think it's
things,
that
Voltaire?
different? You think it's that different?
I think it's,
Bro.
it's apples and fucking. I don't know.
Do you?
Thank you so
That's
much.
crazy.
It literally.
Thank you so much for the 5, John Winkle's booth. I'll put it on chat.
It literally is. It's like
No,
it's
the
as
way
far
the
apart
way
as
I see you
astrology and
seeing it is
astronomy.
apples and kumquats. It's literally still orange, but it's different. But
Then you
no,
don't
it's
know
not
what
even
those
like that.
words mean, Voltaire.
Are
With
you
all due
kidding me?
respect, you have no idea what those words mean. With all due
I would-
respect, you have no
Why
idea.
does
You
why does it make sense if one person says empath and there's someone who can
When I
like
was a
through
child,
their
MTV
actual
played
existence
music
What do you
feel
think
through
an
somebody
empath
and
is?
Do you
empathy
hear what I
empathy
told you an
means something
empath
What do you
hold
think
on
an empath
empathy
is?
is something that
I'm
somebody
done
feels
with
but they
this.
don't actually feel it. It's
What
too
is an
close to
empath?
not mean the same, not mean the root word is actually the fucking root word.
So
What
is
is an
astronomy
empath?
and astronomy, you dumb fuck.
Voltaire, what is an empath?
I love you, Voltaire, but you're like so retarded right now if you think
Me?
about it.
I'm
Voltaire, what's an
Think
empath?
about
I'm
it.
about to
Define it,
leave.
please.
Well,
so I
explain.
just wanna
Okay,
finish my
somebody.
line of
Okay,
question.
explain how I'm retarded. I
Hold
mean,
on.
my mom took Tylenol, but explain how I'm retarded.
I just want to finish my line of questioning. As the super empathetic person
an
that I
empath.
am, and I can get into the minds of others, especially women. So I could just be a woman, right?
Yeah.
I'm the best
No.
at it.
No, because I already explained why.
You
So
don't
I guess you
become
were
something
listening,
you can
or
empathize
you don't
with.
care to
framework
listen.
of
Coming home
reference.
with
I
me.
like, why couldn't I be a woman if I'm getting into the frame of reference and feeling what they're feeling.
Because
I've
woman
already
means
answered.
more than
I
just
can answer
someone's
it
If you're not a
emotional
fucking
again.
woman, you
state.
I
wouldn't
can
know what
answer
it's
it
like to be a
again.
woman because you have a
Only
dick.
tolerate
Oh,
other people with
perfect, Avery. Thank you
pathological
for
behavior.
thank you for explaining why empathy is fake and gay.
very
Thank you so much,
That's not
and
why
thank you for
empathy is
saying
fake
why
and
every
gay.
fucking trans person is
gay.
also fake and gay.
Hey,
And also,
Okay.
have a
I got
great
rage
if I
one.
can
quit
read the
Have a
going
Bible,
great
on.
then I
I
can
one.
got
become
rage
Have a
God,
quit
great
going
right?
one,
on.
Confluence.
Oh,
You guys
seven,
are
Emmett.
great.
By the time I
You
saw the
Rage
graduated
quit.
to that one. I
it
know
was
I have
Hey,
a
Emmett,
Nobody
thank
can
you.
hear anything.
Emmett,
If I can't hear
Well
anything,
done.
nobody can hear anything.
Emmett,
Well done, everyone.
if I
Yeah.
can read the Bible, I can become God, right?
Yes, that's exactly what
Wait,
it means.
what?
Because
That's
you know,
Okay,
oh,
I just want to make sure.
as the
That's.
super
that is the craziest.
I
So
think
the
you're
same
proving
shit
his
you're
point even
saying about
further.
being an
No,
empath,
that
as the super
being
relation is
empathic and
there,
becoming a
this
woman
is
is the
where
same
I
shit.
it's
agree with Emmett.
unequivocal. Come on,
This is
Alex,
where
that's
Emmett is
retarded.
always correct.
Yeah,
Alex,
exactly. That's what he's saying.
Needing
That's
a
how
rope.
retarded what he's
We
saying
need a rope.
is.
Alex,
Emmett, get the
as the
rope.
Please.
super, as
The
the super
panel's off the
Get the rope,
empathetic,
rails,
Emmett.
K2. Okay.
Dear
Emmett,
Lord.
get the
Yeah.
rope.
All right.
Alex, as
That's
the
how
super,
Confluence.
stupid
as the
what he's
Confluence.
super,
You
saying
need to fucking.
is.
You need to dial down on
Because
this.
I can empathize with
wow.
someone, I
Dial
can
down on this
become
shit.
them.
Hey, good
Like
job
fucking
there, Alex.
Start
As
with
a
dumbasses.
that
super
one.
empathetic person that you
And
are,
then we
you
just
should be
have a
able to
tree
read the Bible
party
and
till the
become
sun
God and
fucking
get into
rises.
their same framework. That's
Okay,
how it
Emmett, any
rolls,
more
right?
questions other
Because
than
that's
rage quitting?
the way it is. Thank you for having me.
Are
Wow,
you on
that
your
worked.
phone?
Thank you for having me
Okay, so
on.
Confluence, can you bring
He's
up the
drunk.
link, the
Oh,
last
seven,
link that I
Emmett.
posted?
Ask me how I knew.
Yeah, in the back chat, please.
I'm
I'm
saying
using my
bye.
empathy
Anyway,
right now.
thank you very
Voltaire
much
is
for
at
having me.
Apparently
least
that worked for about
quarter way
five,
Thank you for being here.
Bye,
25
Emmett.
seconds.
halfway.
Thank you
He's
very
halfway
much for
into it.
having me on Conference. Good to see you,
Yep.
Abe. Good to see you,
Yep.
Alex. Good to see
Love you,
everybody.
Emmett.
To be honest, it was
Hey,
fun.
Con.
Later,
But
you little
yes, stop
European
being fake
cigarette
and
rage
gay.
baiter.
Later,
Well,
Emmett.
Avery, I'm just gonna
I
tell
know
you
you
one
do,
thing.
brother.
Okay, you look like a Mexican, and I hate all Mexicans, especially the ones that are retarded enough not to know Spanish. Have a good
Avery
one.
does look like a Mac.
Okay. Jesus Christ. What a spurgatron of a panel. That was interesting. I will go ahead and rate you all to apes. I cannot be up anymore. Um, I do have some Pixelart to do, but I'll do it tomorrow. It was a little bit too much for me. I don't really super like panels, but I have to be on panels. They didn't really get it, and the more that they kept on attacking me on the issues, the more they're losing it, and I don't even understand why. Um, but it's kind of interesting and kind of fun to see them being so kind of ridiculous when it comes to all of this. Please go to Waves, give him a like, give him a sub. What time am I thinking about for what? Tomorrow I'll be off. I have some work to do. When I come back, I'll do Emmett Ross, so I'll be painting. And it's gonna be cool. That's gonna be a little cool thing I'm gonna be doing. It's such an esoteric topic. Well, it's really fun because the way that I wanted to go for it in the last part of it for tomorrow's stream, it's not gonna be that late. I just need to go back home. I'm supposed to be 8 hours, so 7 it's gonna be 6. I'm probably gonna be doing it about 8, and I'm not gonna stay that long either because I'll probably be uber tired. But I'll be painting. I'm gonna have a good time painting. I'm just gonna do a painting with the MS Ross stream, and people are willing to come. They can come up. Um, I usually get more people watching. I don't know why I have so many so little people watch. Probably because it's not PNN. People like PNN, but there's not been that much in the sense of PNN, to be fair. And there's been like a lot of cool debate shows and shit. So it's fine. This topic was fun. And I'm really I'm kind of happy that I went to the actual panel and then you know just just bad drop their heads with the thing. They got so mad at me at the end because they understand what I'm talking about. It's very like I bring up an idea that it's very annoying for them. That's what it is. Either they accept and are okay with all of the T's, or they say, well, it's because you have a dick, and then they agree with me that's fake and gay because you cannot get into their mental states. And the whole point of is like you have to be able to get into their mental state, right? If you can get into their mental state and you can feel what they're feeling, then I can just look at somebody. I could just feel like a woman. Why not? Why wouldn't I be able to? Bandit, I sent you a message in the Discord. If you can reply to it, I will be greatly appreciated. Thank you, everybody who was here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the donos. They are very appreciated. If you send a dono and you send me a message, I will highlight it in chat. If I am like very busy, like I was today because I was in the middle of a debate, I will maybe take my time, but I will try. From now on, if you wanna ask for a song, I will do it for $1, as I said. So I'm gonna try to keep up the good ideas and get the good stuff going. I really don't think they understood what I was gonna do with that specifically, especially at the beginning. They had this like kind of idea of what I was trying to do, and at the same time they were being kind of annoyed at me. I do see that I lost a couple subscribers, which is fine. It happens. Weird. Oh. Rumble growth. But we'll get there. It will get there. And the moment we'll get there, we'll get there. And if we don't get there, we don't get there. It's fine. But we're like 50 away, and it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be great. No problem pulling up Discord now. Yeah, I just want to know what I need to do for you when it comes to your pixel art that you want. I will do it for you. It was a great day. I painted a lot today on my own. I had some stuff to do, so I'm happy. But yeah, I gotta go. So good night, everyone. Take care. God bless you. Go to Waves, and God bless you all.
Emmet.